Chapter 192. Looking at Bai Qingshang's performance, Elder Li was even more dissatisfied. He whispered, "Humph, a dignified elder of Wanshou sect is actually humbling himself in front of a trash. I really don't know how our sect lord made us listen to him." Elder Wan pinched his chin and revealed a thoughtful expression. His eyes kept glancing at the white elephant and Bai Qingshang, because he had heard that mutated magical beasts were stronger than normal magical beasts. For Bai Qingshang to make such a big bet, it meant that this white elephant was definitely extraordinary. Elder Wan's eyes flashed with a trace of darkness. Bai Qingshang had always been suppressing him. This kind of good thing must not be monopolized by Bai Qingshang. No matter what was different about this white elephant, he must get it first. After making up his mind, Elder Wan's expression immediately changed. He looked at Yi Hao with a smile. "You are called Xia Hao, right? I still don't have a closed-door disciple. I wonder if you're interested." "What? Become an elder's closed-door disciple? Are you kidding me? What is so special about this Xia Hao's magical beast to be able to attract two elders to compete for it?" The spectators all knew that the two elders' attitude towards Yi Hao had changed because of this white elephant. All of them had expressions of shock on their faces, not daring to believe what was happening before their eyes. They originally wanted to see Gua Yingrui humiliate Yi Hao and watch Yi Hao get killed by Elder Li. Who knew that it would turn out like this? The two elders were trying to curry favor with Yi Hao. Bai Qingshang looked deeply at Elder Wan and laughed. "It seems that I also don't have a closed-door disciple." "What do you mean?" "Two elders of Wanshou sect are competing for a closed-door disciple." The onlookers couldn't believe their ears. They hoped that the one riding on the white elephant was them, and not Yi Hao. "Elders, I still have a bet to complete." Yi Hao also knew that everything Bai Qingshang had done was for the sake of the white dragon giant elephant he was sitting on. However, he didn't expect that a mutated magical beast, and a rank 2-1 at that, could attract two elders to fight over it. Of course, there was no lack of conflict between them. The moment the giant elephant hatched, the system notified him that the quest had been completed. At the same time, Yi Hao's level rose to second Order Marshal King. However, the mission given to him by the system was to continue participating in the beast appraisal competition and win first place. Hence, Yi Hao could only reject their suggestion. Moreover, Yi Hao knew that the white dragon elephant was a mutated magical beast with a trace of dragon blood in its body. Naturally, it was stronger than the average magical beast, but it still couldn't compare to a 5th-rank magical beast. However, Yi Hao didn't plan on exchanging them because this was his first mutated magical beast. He didn't know if the white dragon elephant had any other strong points, and he didn't know if this would happen again in the future. If it weren't for the fact that there were so many people here, he would have taken the magical beast egg and tested it again. Hearing Yi Hao mention the bet, everyone's gaze fell on Gua Yingrui. They looked at him with pitiful eyes. This was a magical beast that two elders were fighting over. "Let's see if you dare to eat it." The giant elephant weighed dozens of tons. Gua Yingrui said that he would eat it alive, but they didn't know if he had such a big appetite. "General Gua, please." Yi Hao jumped off the giant elephant and politely extended his right hand. Gua Yingrui swallowed his saliva. He didn't expect Yi Hao to be so lucky to have such a strange giant elephant appraised by two elders. Gua Yingrui looked at Elder Li cautiously. At this moment, he could only pray that Elder Li would stand up for him. After all, Elder Li said that he would eat this white elephant together. "Why are you looking at me?" Elder Li said impatiently when he saw Gua Yingrui's gaze. If it weren't for Bai Qingshang and Elder Wan, who both wanted Yi Hao's white elephant, he wouldn't have to be like this. He really couldn't see what was so special about this white elephant. Didn't it just grow some scales? Could it be dragon scales? Was there a need for two people to fight over it? "All right, I won't make things difficult for General Gua. As long as you kowtow to me 3 times, I will let you go." Yi Hao automatically ignored Elder Li. Now was not the time to settle accounts with him. Since he wanted to enter the Wanshou sect, he couldn't offend him too much. Yi Hao didn't think that Bai Qingshang and Elder One would fight with Elder Li for him. They just wanted to get his giant elephant. Why wouldn't he use them to enter the Wanshou sect? He could let Elderly go for now, but didn't Gua Ingrue want him to lose face in front of everyone? Since that was the case, he was going to humiliate him in front of everyone. You are delusional. You want this general to kneel to you? Stop dreaming. Hearing Yi Hao's casual tone, asking him to kowtow to him 3 times as if he was magnanimous, Gua Ingrue angrily shouted. Xiao Hao, don't go too far. Gua Hai said. Yi Hao was so arrogant that he wanted his son to kneel. If that was the case, then he wouldn't be able to show his face in Beast King City anymore. He immediately stood out and shouted. This is really a case of the little bastard hiding his head and the big bastard showing his head. Yi Hao looked at Gua Hai, who stood out. He was only an 8th Order Martial King, while he himself was already a 2nd Order Martial King. He might be in danger if he faced Mayor Song, but killing Gua Hai was a piece of cake for him. What an arrogant brat. Let this old man take your dog head. All right, it just so happens that this young master's hands are also itching. Gua Hai flew into a rage. Yi Hao wasn't afraid at all. Now that he had broken through to 2nd Order Martial King, he really wanted to move his body. Sigh, Gua Hai, this is a conflict between the younger generation. Don't get involved. Seeing that Gua Hai was about to attack, Mayor Song hurriedly stood out to stop him. Surnamed Song, don't think that I'm afraid of you just because you're 2 realms higher than me. My Gua clan's cultivation technique isn't to be trifled with. Gua Hai was able to fight evenly with City Lord Song. He had been relying on his own cultivation technique, which was of a higher level than City Lord Song's. Now that Yi Hao had crossed his bottom line, Gua Hai didn't want to tolerate it anymore. He directly fell out with Mayor Song. Mayor Song, you don't have to stop me. It's just an old bastard. Just kill him. Gua Style's 3rd layer force. Seeing Yi Hao's arrogant appearance, Gua Hai couldn't stand it anymore and directly used a martial skill. Gua Clan's patriarch actually used Gua Clan's strongest martial skill. Hearing Gua Clan's 3rd layer force, everyone was shocked. Gua Clan's 3rd layer force only had 3 moves. The first move could only display 1 strength, but the second move could double 1 strength, and the third move could double 1 strength. Even Mayor Song didn't dare to fight Gua Hai head-on. He had to avoid Gua Hai. Chapter 193. Strong your grandmother's leg. In the blink of an eye, Gua Hai's heavy palm was about to land on Yi Hao's chest. Gua Hai's face had already revealed a cruel sneer. In his eyes, Yi Hao was just a pitiful ant under this palm. He would definitely be crushed into pieces. Xie Chenyu was sweating profusely for Yi Hao. She never thought that Gua Hai would disregard everything and suddenly attack Yi Hao. He even used the Gua family's strongest martial skill. No one thought that Yi Hao would still be able to laugh at this time. Brat, no matter how arrogant you are, you will still die under this old man's hands. Where is he? Just as Gua Hai's palm was a few millimeters away from landing on Yi Hao's body, Gua Hai only saw a figure in front of him swaying. His full-strength palm actually missed. Old bastard, go to hell. Suddenly, Yi Hao's figure came from behind him. Gua Hai's heart tightened. Just as he was about to dodge, he felt his body go weak. 2 blood-stained blades had actually pierced through his chest, and the blood dripping from the blades was his blood. Gua Hai's face was filled with unwillingness. He slowly turned his head and muttered, "How is this possible?" "Humph. Nothing is impossible." Yi Hao coldly snorted and kept the blades in his space. Gua Hai's entire body fell to the ground. Ding dong. Congratulations on killing an 8th level martial king. Obtained 80,000 experience points. Obtained 40,000 experience points. Obtained 5th level white fox token. Obtained profound level 3rd level Gua family strength. The crowd instantly went into an uproar, as if everything in front of them was a dream. The famous Gua Hai of Beast King City, an expert who stood shoulder to shoulder with City Lord Song, was actually killed by a brat in 1 move. Father, Guoying Rue was inconsolable and pounced on Gua Hai. How is this possible? A 1st-level martial king can actually kill a high-level martial king expert in 1 move. I didn't even see how he moved just now. He actually appeared behind Patriarch Gua. What a joke. At that time, I thought that Lan Bao had bumped into Xiao Hao's blade. It turns out that his speed was too fast, and we couldn't see it clearly. Hearing this person's figure, everyone immediately thought of the scene of Lan Bao running into a saber. Now that they thought about it, how laughable it was. Even Guo Hai, an 8th Order Martial King, was killed by Yi Hao in one move. Lan Bao, a 3rd Order Martial King, was nothing in Yi Hao's eyes. Everyone looked deeply at Guo Yingrui. That day, City Lord Song wasn't saving Yi Hao. He was clearly saving you. He was magnanimous enough to let you go. Did you really think that he was inferior to you? City Lord Song's eyes were also filled with shock. When did this brat break through again? Yesterday, he was still a 1st Order Martial King. Now, his strength is actually a 2nd Order Martial King. When Yi Hao made his move just now, City Lord Song naturally saw the aura that erupted from his body. City Lord Song only now realized how laughable it was to use Guo Hai to scare Yi Hao. Even if it was him, he wouldn't be able to kill Guo Hai so easily. However, Yi Hao actually did it so easily. Sigh, it seems that I'm really old. City Lord Song sighed softly. Bastard, I'm going to kill you. Guo Hai's eyes were filled with intense anger. He raised his head and roared at the top of his lungs. There's still a little bastard left. Then you can go and die too. Since Guo Yingrui didn't want to live anymore, Yi Hao naturally wouldn't be polite. He took out a weapon from his space and walked towards Guo Yingrui with a smile. What are you doing? Elder Wan, save me. Guo Yingrui finally reacted. Even his own father wasn't a match for Yi Hao and was killed by Yi Hao in one move. Then, it was even more impossible for him to be a match for Yi Hao. Guo Yingrui was on the ground. His heart was filled with fear as he continuously retreated. He begged Elder Wan for mercy. Elder Wan, save me. My Guo family's wealth will all be yours. When Elder Wan heard Guo Yingrui's words, it was obvious that he was moved. However, he could only blame Guo Yingrui for saying it in front of so many people. It made him lose face. He coldly snorted. Do you think this elder is a greedy person? You actually want to use money to confuse this elder. Guo Yingrui was also a smart person. He obviously knew that he had said the wrong thing. He quickly slapped his own mouth and said, Yes, yes, yes. It's all my fault for saying the wrong thing. I'll have to trouble Elder Wan to save me. There were only 3 elders here who could subdue Yi Hao. Among them, only Elder Wan had received benefits from his family. Now, he could only place all his hopes of survival on Yi Hao. No one can save you today. I believe that Elder Wan is a clean man. He won't help trash like you. Yi Hao didn't want to reveal too many trump cards. If Elder Wan helped him, it would be quite troublesome. Therefore, Yi Hao immediately put a high hat on Elder Wan. Elder Wan suddenly felt extremely embarrassed. At this time, there were so many people around, so he couldn't openly refute Yi Hao's words. However, he was also very envious of the Guo family's assets. After all, the higher his cultivation level, the more resources he would need to cultivate if he wanted to go further. Elder Wan coughed lightly and said, Xia Hao, no matter what, this is my Wan Shou sex competition. You have already killed Guo Hai. Can you give me some face and let him go for the time being? Just when everyone thought that Yi Hao would agree immediately. After all, this was a Wan Shou sex elder asking for mercy. Ordinary people wouldn't have such face. If he didn't agree immediately, wouldn't he be looking for trouble? Oh, is your face very valuable? Yi Hao asked with a smile. Did he need to ask for the opinion of others when he wanted to kill the person he wanted to kill? He actually refused again. When everyone heard Yi Hao's words to Elder Wan, they suddenly felt their hearts beating wildly. A young boy actually asked a Wan Shou sex elder, was his face very valuable? How arrogant was he? Or was he really fearless and had the right to be arrogant? Good, very good. Today, you kill one for me. Elder Wan was so angry that he laughed. He had never spoken so humbly to anyone before. Moreover, he was speaking to a martial king trash. This person actually dared to not give him face in public. Before Elder Wan could finish his words, Yi Hao's figure suddenly moved. Elder Wan, save! Before Guo Yingrui could finish his cry for help, his head had already fallen to the ground. His eyes were wide open, and he had an unwilling look on his face. The Guo family is finished. From now on, the The Song family will be the only family in Beast King City. No one expected that Yi Hao would not give Elder One any face when he had already said that. He even killed Guoying Rui without hesitation. Chapter 194. Elder One narrowed his eyes filled with murderous intent. He didn't expect that Yi Hao would kill Guoying Rui before he could finish speaking. Yi Hao really didn't put him in his eyes. Elder One felt that his dignity had been trampled deeply at this moment. Everyone looked at him with ridicule. Elder One clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. Boy, are you really not afraid of death? Elder One, what are you saying? Who isn't afraid of death? Yi Hao chuckled, but an elder can't kill a contestant. I'm not wrong about that. Yi Hao is gambling. Elder One didn't dare to make a move. Even if he did, Yi Hao wouldn't be afraid. At most, it would be more troublesome to investigate. But don't forget, whether you can enter the One Show sect or not, your life won't be easy. Elder One said coldly. This was why he didn't kill Yi Hao immediately. Not killing a contestant was a rule set by the sect leader. If he acted rashly, it would be used against him. But if Yi Hao couldn't enter the top 10, he would have a reason to kill Yi Hao. In his opinion, although he didn't understand Yi Hao's white elephant, it was a fact that it was at the peak of rank 2. Up until now, there were more than 20 rank 3 magical beasts. Among them, there were 3 rank 4 magical beasts. So, he didn't think Yi Hao could enter the top 10. Even if Yi Hao entered the top 10, the Wan Shou sect was his territory. Would Yi Hao have a good life? Thank you for your concern, Elder Wan. You don't have to worry about whether I have a good life or not. Yi Hao was relieved. He knew he had made the right bet. As long as Elder One didn't make a move, it would be fine. Elder One was afraid he wouldn't be able to control himself. He flung his sleeves and left. City Lord Song, the Guo family has already been annihilated. You should quickly send people to collect the Guo family's resources. Don't let others take advantage of your precarious situation, Yi Hao said meaningfully as he looked at Elder Wan's back. Elder Wan stopped in his tracks. Even if he had such thoughts, he wouldn't do it anymore. He couldn't afford to lose face like that. At this moment, he was gnashing his teeth at Yi Hao. Elder Bai, I can't give you this white elephant for now. I want to win first place in the beast appraisal competition and enter the 1,000 Beast sect on my own. I think the next competition should be related to this magical beast. I want to wait until the competition is over before we talk about the white elephant. Yi Hao suddenly changed his attitude and spoke to Bai Qingshang in a friendly manner. He knew that he couldn't afford to offend all the elders of the 10,000 Beast sect in one fell swoop. Currently, he was already in conflict with 2 of them. As for this Bai Qingshang, Yi Hao didn't mind giving him some face since he still had a decent impression of him. Xia Hao, you don't have to go through so much trouble. As long as you want to join the 1,000 Beast sect, all I have to do is say the word. If Bai Qingshang was only willing to accept Yi Hao as his disciple because he wanted to compete with Elder Wan for the magical beast, Bai Qingshang wouldn't have been willing to accept Yi Hao as his disciple. Now that he saw Yi Hao easily behead Guohai, he truly felt a sense of appreciation for talent. In his eyes, if Yi Hao could instantly kill an 8th-level Martial King as a 2nd-level Martial King, then his future achievements would definitely not be below his own. If he could accept Yi Hao as his disciple, then he would be proud of himself in the future. The only thing he didn't like about Yi Hao was that he was too arrogant. If such a person didn't experience some setbacks, then he would definitely suffer in the future. However, he was also curious. Why would Yi Hao, a mere martial king, dare to challenge Elder Wan? Was he really not afraid of angering Elder Wan and causing Elder Wan to act recklessly? Don't, Elder Bai. I want to rely on my own abilities. Yi Hao rejected with a smile. What a joke. Winning the Beast Appraisal competition would earn him 500,000 experience points, enough for him to level up twice. Wasn't he participating in this competition to level up? How would he agree to that? Why don't you consider it? Although your strength is not bad, the competition later on is related to magical beasts. There are many magical beasts that are stronger than yours, Bai Qingshang advised again. All right then, I won't persuade you anymore, Bai Qingshang said with a smile when he saw that Yi Hao was about to reject him. He knew that the more talented a young man like Yi Hao was, the more arrogant he would be. Since he had already made up his mind, no matter how much he tried to persuade him, it would be useless. All right, let's continue the appraisal, Bai Qingshang said to the remaining contestants before Yi Hao could say anything. Damn, brother, you're too amazing. I think I'll just follow you. It's meaningless for me to go back to that house. Seeing Bai Qingshang, an elderly, leave, Yi Qing immediately squeezed to Yi Hao's side and spoke incoherently in excitement. Follow me? You better go appraise your eggs. Yi Hao shook his head with a chuckle when he saw Yi Qing looking at him with admiration. It doesn't matter if I appraise them or not, Yi Qing said indifferently towards the two magical beast eggs in her hands that even she didn't have the energy to complain about. Hey, you in front, hurry up. Just as Yi Qing was about to say something, the people in the queue behind her urged her impatiently. What's with the rush? Yi Qing said in dissatisfaction when she was interrupted. Can't you see that I'm chatting with Master Xia Hao? Xia Hao is my boss. If you're unhappy, you can go look for him. When the people in the queue saw how arrogant Yi Qing was, they glanced at Yi Hao, who was standing next to her. No matter how dissatisfied they were, they didn't dare to show it and just smiled fawningly at Yi Hao. This was someone who even the elders of the Thousand Beasts sect didn't care about. Who would dare to provoke him? However, just because they were afraid of Yi Hao didn't mean they were afraid of Yi Qing. Looking at the two hideous magical beast eggs in Yi Qing's arms, they smiled in disdain. Yi Qing looked embarrassed. She had no choice but to do this because she didn't want to join the Thousand Beasts sect and avoid her violent older sister. Yi Qing looked at Yi Hao fawningly. Boss, wait for me. I'll treat you to a drink later. Without waiting for Yi Hao to speak, Yi Qing tossed the two magical beast eggs onto the beast appraisal table. Even the guards were shocked, but when they saw the appearance of the magical beast eggs, they couldn't help but reveal puzzled expressions. Yi Hao was also very interested in Yi Qing's beast appraising skills, but he didn't expect Yi Qing to be so friendly and suddenly treat him as her boss. Yi Hao could only shake his head with a bitter smile since he hadn't agreed to it. Meanwhile, the middle-aged man had already recovered. After witnessing the Guo father and son being killed with his own eyes, he no longer dared to offend Yi Hao. He stood in a corner and secretly looked at the eggs in Yi Qing's hands. This was because he recognized that these were the eggs that Yi Hao had told him were not bad. At first, he was curious why someone would pick up these eggs, but when he heard Yi Qing call Yi Hao boss, he suspected that Yi Hao was the one who gave them to him. He was curious if Yi Hao was really so amazing that even Master Shui couldn't compare to him. After all, Master Shui said that the eggs in Yi Qing's hands were dead eggs. But when he saw the appearance of the magical beast eggs, he shook his head again. He still chose to believe in Master Shui, even if his eggs were fake. Chapter 195. Yi Qing first appraised the magical beast egg she had picked. After all, if both eggs were alive, there was no point in appraising the next one. Yi Qing nervously picked up the purplish-red jade token, praying in her heart that she wouldn't pass. Kid, I think you're here to make a fool of yourself. You must be a genius to be able to pick these two eggs. I think you should just go home. The person who tried to persuade Yi Qing to hurry up couldn't help but take the lead to jeer when he saw how nervous Yi Qing was. Really, Yi Qing was delighted. No, you have to appraise the magical beast eggs you picked. Although the soldier agreed that there was no need to appraise Yi Qing's magical beast eggs, in order to abide by the rules of the competition, he rejected her heartlessly. Remember, appraising a magical beast doesn't necessarily depend on its appearance. Just as someone was about to mock Yi Qing, Yi Hao suddenly spoke up softly. When the crowd heard Yi Hao's words, they couldn't help but snicker in disdain. Do you really think you're a beast appraiser master just because you got a mutated magical beast? That's just your dumb luck. What's with the pretense? You just got a mutated magical beast out of pure luck. But it's only a rank 2 magical beast. That's right. The better the appearance, the higher the chances of the eggs being alive. This is a principle that will never change. What's a young kid like you trying to pretend to be an expert? Many people were afraid of Yi Hao's strength and didn't dare to speak up. They only dared to hide in the crowd and whisper. Obviously, Yi Hao had stirred up everyone's jealousy. Some people couldn't stand Yi Hao and started mocking him. Boss, You can't be thinking that these two eggs of mine can be appraised as magical beasts, right? I Ching asked in shock, almost dropping the jade token in her hand. Ha ha ha, so you're an idiot. You don't even look at the appearance of your magical beast eggs before you think you can appraise them as magical beasts. The crowd couldn't hold it in anymore and started laughing maniacally. Yi Hao looked at I Ching in confusion. Is this kid pretending to be stupid? The two magical beast eggs I picked are both alive. Why doesn't he believe me? From the looks of it, he didn't seem to want to identify the magical beast. Yi Hao frowned and thought for a moment. He recalled the conversation he had with I Ching and immediately realized that he had misunderstood. It seemed that I Ching had been forced by her family to participate in the competition. But this kid's luck was too good. He randomly picked two such poor eggs, and they were both alive. Yi Hao suddenly had a mischievous feeling in his heart. He wanted to see I Ching's expression when she found out that the two magical beast eggs were both alive. He chuckled and shook his head, not saying anything. If you don't want to say it, then don't say it. I don't believe that I will be so unlucky. I Ching looked at Yi Hao and smiled without saying anything. She curled her lips and looked at the magical beast egg in front of her. She couldn't believe that this was a living egg. She was unconvinced and dripped a drop of blood onto the medium jade tablet. Bai Qingshang, City Lord Song, and the others had obviously noticed the situation here. However, they were too far away from the eggs and could only vaguely see that the eggs were of poor quality. City Lord Song, do you think this magical beast egg is alive or dead? Bai Qingshang turned his head and asked City Lord Song softly. However, when he saw Xie Chunyu, his gaze paused for a few seconds. Xie Chunyu quickly picked up the teapot and lowered her head to refill City Lord Song's teacup. This little servant is so handsome. Bai Qingshang retracted his gaze and said with a chuckle, think about it. City Lord Song ordered, afraid that Bai Qingshang would discover Xie Chunyu's identity. Xie Chunyu quickly bowed and walked away. Although I couldn't see it clearly, I think that the egg is most likely dead. Stroking his beard, City Lord Song looked at the magical beast egg on the table and voiced his guess. Bai Qingshang glanced at Xie Chunyu's back and nodded with his teacup in hand. I Ching's blood dripped onto the medium jade token. In an instant, the token emitted a light that enveloped the egg. The phantom of a magical beast rapidly formed on the egg, and its iron hook-like tail waved in the air. No way, it's a rank 1 magical beast, the mustache scorpion. It's actually a living magical beast egg. Don't worry. What if the phantom disappears like just now? Wouldn't it still be a dead egg? Just as everyone was discussing, a 1-meter-long mustache scorpion climbed down from the table and crawled to I Ching's side. It used its tail to touch I Ching's trousers affectionately. No way. Do I have to be so unlucky? I Ching kicked the mustache scorpion away with a face that was worse than death. I Ching turned to Yi Hao and saw Yi Hao looking at her with a smile. I Ching looked at Yi Hao suspiciously. Boss, did you know? Why didn't you tell me? I'm so screwed this time. That's enough. When other people appraise a magical beast, they're happy. Why are you acting so desperate? Yi Hao asked with a smile as he kicked I Ching's butt. How is that possible? How can a magical beast egg of such poor quality be appraised as a magical beast? Could this Yi Hao really be a master beast appraiser? Everyone stared at Yi Hao in shock, recalling Yi Hao's words. Beast appraising didn't necessarily depend on its appearance. Could it be that there was something wrong with the beast appraising techniques that had been passed down in the Infinite Land continent? Almost everyone present was a beast appraiser. They suddenly realized that everything they had learned in their lives had been overturned. Impossible, it must be luck. That's right. It's not unheard of for a magical beast egg of poor quality to be appraised as a living one. It must be luck. I refuse to believe that another magical beast egg can be a living one. There were still many stubborn old men and proud people who refused to believe Yi Hao's words. They thought that this was just a coincidence and luck. Everyone, listen to me. I don't know if that magical beast egg was chosen by Xia Hao, but Xia Hao said that this magical beast egg was a living one, while Master Xueji said that it was a dead one. Let's see if Xia Hao is really that amazing. Just as everyone was discussing and doubting each other, the middle-aged man suddenly spoke up. What? Xia Hao is the one who chose this egg? Did Master Shui appraise this magical beast egg as well? Everyone in Beast King's city knows of Master Shui's beast appraising skills. If Master Shui said that it was a dead egg, then it must be a dead egg. Whether it's a dead egg or not, we'll know once we let that kid appraise it. The middle-aged man's words successfully attracted everyone's attention. Some supported Shui Ji, while some youngsters were impressed by Yi Hao and chose to believe in Yi Hao. However, there were also some who found it difficult to choose. Still, most of them chose to believe in Shui Ji. After all, Shui Ji's reputation in Beast King City was not insignificant. On the other hand, Yi Hao was just starting to make a name for himself. More people believed that it was difficult for a magical beast egg of poor quality to produce a living magical beast. After all, the chances of a magical beast egg of good quality growing into a magical beast were slim. On the other hand, if a magical beast egg of poor quality grew into a living one, it would be even more difficult. Chapter 196. Yi Hao had already used a magical beast egg that didn't look too good and got a mutated magical beast. I Ching once again used an even worse grade magical beast egg and opened a rank 1 magical beast. More people tried to pick a magical beast egg that looked better, but all of them failed. Kid, hurry up and open it. I Ching was undoubtedly the center of attention at this moment. Many people began to urge her to appraise the magical beast, so that everyone would know if the egg Yi Hao picked was alive or dead. I Ching ignored the crowd. Instead, when she heard the middle-aged man's words, she was stunned and looked at Yi Hao in disbelief. Boss, it can't be. Why are we so fated? You picked this magical beast egg? Seeing I Ching's shocked expression, Yi Hao nodded his head. Although this magical beast egg wasn't personally selected by him, this magical beast egg was indeed somewhat related to him. If he didn't say that this magical beast egg was good, the middle-aged man wouldn't have asked Shui Ji to appraise it, and it wouldn't have been thrown to the roadside and seen by I Ching. Overall, he was the one who appraised this magical beast egg, so there was nothing wrong with that. This Yi Hao is quite capable. Bai Qingshang exclaimed in admiration. He was a little surprised that a magical beast could be hatched from such a low-quality magical beast egg. That's right. City Lord Song nodded deeply. He looked at Yi Hao with shock in his eyes. Yi Hao had said that appraising magical beasts didn't necessarily depend on their appearance. This meant that Yi Hao had a unique understanding of beast appraising, and this mustard scorpion was the biggest proof. This Yi Hao is really good at hiding things. I wonder if Miss was right to ask him for help. City Lord Song sighed deeply in his heart. However, he couldn't tell if Yi Hao was truly capable or if he just relied on luck. If it was as Yi Hao said, that appraising magical beasts didn't solely depend on their appearance, then why didn't anyone in the Infinite Land continent discover this earlier? That wouldn't cause the price difference between a magical beast egg with a good appearance and a magical beast egg with a poor appearance to be dozens of times higher. When City Lord Song saw Bai Qingshang getting up and walking towards the beast appraisal platform out of curiosity, he quickly followed suit. He too wanted to know if the magical beast egg Yi Hao chose would produce a magical beast. If he could pass, it would mean that Yi Hao was truly a master beast appraiser. If he couldn't, it would only mean that Yi Hao's achievements were all due to luck. Yi Hao's statement that beast appraisers didn't necessarily rely on their appearance was nothing more than nonsense. Boss, are you confident or not? I Ching was now like a dead pig that was not afraid of boiling water. He had already opened a magical beast egg. Instead, he was looking forward to this magical beast egg, which was also a living magical beast egg. After all, there were countless people at the scene who wanted to see Yi Hao make a fool of himself. Yi Hao would undoubtedly be ridiculed by countless people if his magical beast egg didn't produce a magical beast. That was something he didn't want to see. Rather than that, he might as well not open this magical beast. In any case, he had already opened a magical beast egg, so he had the right to take the remaining one away. Don't worry. Go ahead. Yi Hao smiled with relief. He was touched. All right then. I Ching gritted his teeth. He took a jade token from the soldier and dripped a drop of blood onto it. At this moment, hundreds of thousands of people were watching the beast appraisal stage. Even Xue Ji, who had left long ago, was now mixed in with the crowd. He was filled with regret. He didn't expect the Guo family's father and son to be killed so easily. He only had two options now. He could either escape Beast King City or join the Thousand Beast sect. He was absolutely unwilling to leave the Beast King City. Only by joining the Myriad Beast sect would he be able to achieve his goal. The Class 4 magical beasts and a Class 3 magical beast that had been appraised gave him sufficient confidence. He hated the middle-aged man even more. He had already given Yi Hao 2 dead magical beast eggs. Although he had no idea how Yi Hao managed to open a living magical beast egg, the middle-aged man's words had undoubtedly set him against Yi Hao. Moreover, this was related to his reputation. He didn't take a closer look at that magical beast egg. If it turned out to be a living one, wouldn't his reputation be ruined? Xue Ji kept praying in his heart, hoping that he didn't make a mistake in his appraisal and that it was a dead egg. Under everyone's expectant gaze, the phantom of a white feather tiger appeared above the magical beast egg. Many people cast mocking glances at the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man's expression was also extremely awkward. It can't be such a coincidence, right? Another peak rank 3 white feather tiger. Impossible. My egg was in better condition, but it was also a dead egg. This one can't possibly be a living one. The middle-aged man shook his head and shouted excitedly. Roar! The phantom dissipated, revealing a black tiger that was 4 to 5 meters long. Long white fur grew on both sides of its body like a pair of wings. The white feather tiger raised its head and roared at the sky. It jumped down from the beast appraisal stage and ran to I Ching's side. Boss, you're too awesome. It's actually a peak rank 3 white feather tiger. With some nurturing, it can easily break through to become a rank 4 magical beast. When I Ching saw the white feather tiger beside her, she heaved a sigh of relief and said to Yi Hao with admiration, "What do you think? You can't recognize the real deal. My boss gave you a peak rank 3 magical beast for free and you rejected it. Instead, you took a broken egg. What a joke." I Ching turned around and walked up to the middle-aged man casually, mocking him mercilessly. At this moment, the middle-aged man looked as if he had just eaten a pile of shit. His face was ashen as he stared at I Ching's white feather tiger. If he had believed Yi Hao in the beginning, he would have been the owner of this white feather tiger. He could only blame himself for throwing this magical beast egg aside in a moment of carelessness. Now, the white feather tiger had become someone else's magical beast. Xue Ji, I hate you. Damn your ancestors. The middle-aged man clenched his fists and cursed at the crowd below. He didn't care if Xue Ji was among them or not. If he hadn't believed in Xue Ji, he would have at least obtained a rank 3 magical beast. Regardless of whether he could enter the Thousand Beast sect in the end, his status would be incomparable. If he was lucky, he might even be able to enter the Thousand Beast sect, but now he had become the biggest joke and was even eliminated. The middle-aged man was filled with regret and could only blame it all on Xue Ji. He really appraised a magical beast, and a rank 3-1 at that. This Xia Hao really is a master beast appraiser. Doesn't that mean Xia Hao is even better than Master Xue? In the eyes of the crowd, the middle-aged man was just a pitiful clown. Most of them were looking at Yi Hao with admiration. If the crowd had doubted Yi Hao at first, they now understood that he was just keeping a low profile. He was truly capable. Chapter 197. Although most of them were starting to believe Yi Hao and started thinking about Yi Hao's words, that appraising beasts didn't have to be based on appearance. However, this made things even more difficult for the crowd. The chances of failure were very high based on appearance alone. If they didn't pick a magical beast egg with good appearance, it would undoubtedly increase the difficulty. However, Yi Hao's words caused a huge uproar in the future. This was because magic beast eggs of inferior quality were cheap. In the past, magic beast eggs of inferior quality didn't have a market at all. But later on, they became hot sellers. Even though the price of magical beast eggs with poor quality had increased by several folds, there were still people willing to buy them. After all, the better the appearance, the more expensive the egg was. Moreover, appraising a magical beast egg with poor quality was indeed much harder than appraising a magical beast egg with good appearance. Seeing that I Ching was done with her appraisal, Yi Hao turned to leave with a smile on his face. I Ching quickly chased after him, and the crowd immediately opened a path for Yi Hao. Below, Xue Ji saw how dazzling Yi Hao was, and jealousy rose in his heart. Moreover, he had already heard many people talking about how he was inferior to Yi Hao, and this made him even angrier. Xia Hao, although your level is higher than mine, the next round isn't just a competition of individual levels. It's also a competition of magical beast cultivation. You only have a second-rank magical beast, while I have a third-rank magical beast and a fourth-rank magical beast. What do you have to compete with me? Xue Ji gnashed his teeth, hatefully thinking about this. After the competition ended, Xue Ji was informed of the next round's content. The next round was a competition of magical beast strength, and they had to be appraised by the beast appraisal competition. If it was a competition of individual strength, Xue Ji was extremely fearful of Yi Hao. However, if it was a competition of magical beasts, he didn't think much of Yi Hao's magical beast. Xia Hao, I must kill your magical beast to make up for the humiliation you've given me. Xue Ji glanced at Yi Hao's silhouette and immediately turned to leave. Within 3 days, he had to reveal his magical beast form. Only then could he go all out against Yi Hao. He wanted to use his strength to completely crush Yi Hao. He wanted everyone to know that even if they could identify a magical beast from a low-grade magical beast egg, it still couldn't compare to his own magical beast. Everything was fake. Only by appraising the strength of the magical beast could he prove that he was more powerful. No matter how amazing and admirable Yi Hao's beast appraising skills were, he still managed to appraise a rank 3 demonic beast. Xue Ji could do the same. Although Yi Hao had appraised a mutated demonic beast, Xue Ji didn't think Yi Hao's rank 2 demonic beast could compare to his rank 4 demonic beast. Boss, wait for me, don't go so fast. I Ching put away her magical beast and hurriedly chased after Yi Hao, shouting anxiously, Boss, let's go to the restaurant. I'll treat you to a drink. I Ching walked to Yi Hao's side and said flatteringly, All right, where are we going? Lead the way. Yi Hao saw that it was still early and he didn't want to return to the Song Manor so soon, so he quickly agreed. Hearing Yi Hao's agreement, I Ching immediately said happily, All right, boss, I'll treat you to the best restaurant in Beast King City. Waiter, give me a serving of all the best food and drinks in your restaurant. I Ching looked at the waiter. Perhaps it was because of her and Yi Hao's young age that the waiter ignored them. I Ching took out a stack of banknotes and threw it at the waiter's face. The waiter was about to get angry, but when he saw the number on the banknotes, he quickly apologized. This kid isn't simple. He actually has a space ring. As Yi Hao didn't restrict the Dragon Prison Lake's weapon spirit's movements, the weapon spirit could see what was happening outside. The moment I Ching took out the banknotes, the weapon spirit spoke in Yi Hao's mind. Boss, please have a seat. Walking into the private room, I Ching quickly pulled out a chair for Yi Hao and wiped Yi Hao's clothes. Boss, with your strength, why are you participating in this kind of competition? I Ching sat down and asked curiously. In his opinion, Yi Hao didn't even give face to the elders of the Thousand Beasts sect and even offended 2 of them. He was so good at beast appraising, and his cultivation level wasn't low either. Most importantly, he was able to kill an 8th-level Martial King as a 2nd-level Martial King. Hence, he guessed that Yi Hao must have a powerful background to be so arrogant. Although I Ching was a hedonistic young master, he wasn't stupid. He didn't mind befriending people with power and background like Yi Hao. Yi Hao chuckled. Then why are you participating in the Thousand Beasts sect? So, boss, you just like me. You were forced by your family. Seeing that Yi Hao didn't say anything, I Ching guessed that Yi Hao was a disciple of some powerful force who came out to train. No matter how powerful the force behind Yi Hao was, I Ching guessed that it was no smaller than his own family. This was because even he didn't dare to treat the elders of the Thousand Beasts sect that way. Although his life wouldn't be in danger if he did that, it wouldn't be pleasant either. At the very least, he would be skinned alive. On the other hand, Yiha didn't care about the elders of the Thousand Beasts sect at all. If he didn't have a powerful background, he would only do so if there was something wrong with his brain. At this moment, I Ching was imagining all kinds of things in his mind. He even imagined that Yi Hao's family was one of the top forces on the longevity continent. Tell me, why are you so unwilling to join the Thousand Beasts sect? There's nothing wrong with joining the Thousand Beasts sect, right? With your family's power, there shouldn't be anyone in the Thousand Beasts sect that can threaten you. Yi Hao glanced at I Ching, who was daydreaming. He could guess what I Ching was thinking, but he didn't expose her. Anyway, it wouldn't do him any harm, so he just let her daydream. However, Yi Hao was very curious as to why I Ching was so afraid of the Thousand Beasts sect. In order to not join the Thousand Beasts sect, he purposely picked 2 magical beast eggs of inferior quality and prayed all kinds of things. No matter how he looked at it, I Ching's family wasn't small. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible for her to have a spatial ring. That way, she wouldn't be so afraid of the Thousand Beasts sect. Yi Hao guessed and asked, could it be that you really have an enemy in the Thousand Beasts sect? How could I have an enemy? My family. I'm so kind. I Ching almost spilled the beans. She secretly glanced at Yi Hao and saw that Yi Hao was eating as if he didn't notice. She couldn't help but heave a sigh of relief. Family. Yi Hao naturally heard I Ching's words, but he didn't care. There were so many clans in the Myriad Kingdom continent. He knew which family was it, and this I Ching obviously didn't want to say it, so Yi Hao pretended not to hear it. Get to the point. After Yi Hao took a mouthful of food, he raised his eyelids and asked, Sigh, this is simply my humiliation. I Ching seemed to have thought of some unbearable past and sighed with a sad face. Chapter 198. Yi Hao sat on the side and looked at I Ching pitifully. I Ching was telling her sad history with snot and tears. After more than half an hour, I Ching wiped her tears and asked, Boss, do you think I'm pitiful? Yi Hao nodded deeply. In his opinion, it was a pure accident that I Ching could live to this age. However, from I Ching's tone, Yi Hao discovered that although I Ching was dissatisfied with his sister and bullied him, he was very respectful towards her. It could be said that they were a pair of siblings who loved and hated each other at the same time. It was just that his sister was more talented and had been bullying him since he was a child. His sister joined the Wanshou sect a year ago. He sighed that God had eyes. He was finally liberated. Who knew that it would be his turn today? It could be said that he was driven out of the house by his father with a stick. Who asked God to play tricks on him? Even if he deliberately picked 2 bad magical beast eggs, they both hatched magical beasts. He didn't know whether to sigh at his good luck or bad luck. But Yi Hao was a little envious of I Ching. Although his sister often beat him, from I Ching's tone, he knew that the relationship between him and his sister was very good. Thinking back to his brothers, except for the 8th prince who was good to him for a period of time, and it was because of his other identity, the others all wanted to kill him, so he couldn't feel the brotherly love. Come on, let's not go home until we're drunk today. Yi Hao was used to drinking the wine of the earth. The wine of the world of 10,000 countries was simply tasteless. Yi Hao took out a few bottles of erguotu from the space and handed a few bottles to I Ching. Although I Ching was crying, seeing Yi Hao take out so many erguotu that she had never heard or seen before confirmed her guess. Good wine. Unsurprisingly, I Ching also choked for a moment, but she couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. I Ching could feel Yi Hao's sadness from Yi Hao's tone and said with a smile, Come on, boss. Let's not think so much today. We just want to get drunk. I Ching was born in a big family and knew how deep the water of a big family was. Although his sister had always bullied him, his sister was also his strongest backer. His sister helped him vent his anger many times. She beat away many people who wanted to bully him. In his eyes, Yi Hao was definitely the kind of big family son who lived in an abyss of suffering. Okay, come on. Yi Hao was not that relaxed when it came to wine. He laughed heartily and blew directly into the bottle. Oh, my head hurt. Yi Hao opened his eyes and hit his aching head. He looked around and said, "Wasn't I drinking with I Ching? Why am I in the Song Mansion?" Yi Hao naturally recognized his room at a glance. Seeing that it was already sunny outside, Yi Hao shouted to the outside, "Help! Master, you're awake." One of the Martial King Knights heard Yi Hao's voice and quickly came in and asked with a bow. Yi Hao sat up from the bed and looked at the Martial King Knight. "Why am I here? Wasn't I in the restaurant?" "Young master, Miss Song sent someone to find you last night. As for I Ching, she's right next door." The Martial King Knight quickly replied. Yi Hao revealed an expression of understanding. It seemed that he didn't barbecue meat for this girl for nothing. It was useful at the crucial moment. "You lazy pig, you're finally awake." Suddenly, a head popped in from outside the door. Song Shanshan stuck out her tongue and said playfully, "Tell me, where are you going to play today? Don't tell me you're going to barbecue again." Yi Hao looked at Song Shanshan's cute appearance and asked with a smile, "You're only thinking about eating. Why don't you hurry up and train your magical beast? Don't you want to compete? You have to know that many people want to defeat you and rely on you to be their cornerstone." "Defeat me for what?" Song Shanshan's words stunned Yi Hao. Could it be that he had not intimidated those people yesterday? "You're strong, but the next round of the beast appraisal competition is a test of your magical beast strength. It has nothing to do with your personal strength." Everyone in Beast King City knew that Yi Hao had defeated Gua Hai in an instant. However, Yi Hao's magical beast was only a rank 2 magical beast. Although it was a mutated magical beast, it didn't have any obvious characteristics. Although everyone was afraid of Yi Hao, more people thought that this was a good opportunity to become famous. Defeating Yi Hao was extremely difficult, but defeating Yi Hao's magical beast wasn't impossible. Among them, Shueji had even announced that he would personally kill Yi Hao's magical beasts in 2 days to prove the strength of his magical beasts. This Shueji really doesn't know what's good for him, trying to trick me with a dead egg. I haven't settled this score with him yet, and now he dares to provoke me. Then I'll settle the old and new scores with him. After hearing Song Shanshan's words, Yi Hao smacked the bed and scoffed. "Ouch, why did you hit me?" Song Shanshan cried out in pain as she held onto her red hand. Yi Hao scratched his head in embarrassment and said speechlessly, "Who said you could sit down? You even put your hand on my bed. I've worked myself to death to tell you that I can't even sit down when I'm tired. How can you be so righteous when you hit me?" Song Shanshan said angrily. "All right, I'll apologize. No sincerity, a meal of roasted meat." Yi Hao looked at Song Shanshan's back as she turned around and released his trump card. 2 meals." Seeing that Song Shanshan was still ignoring him, Yi Hao continued. Song Shanshan was obviously tempted. She rolled her eyes and snorted again. Yi Hao knew from Song Shanshan's tone that Song Shanshan was already tempted. He pretended to be unwilling and said, "At most 3 meals. If you don't agree, then forget it." Song Shanshan's eyes lit up as if she had won a battle. She revealed a winner smile and said, "All right, deal." "All right, how can a magical beast grow?" Yi Hao brought Song Shanshan to the forest and asked Song Shanshan as he busied himself with the roasted meat in his hands. As for I Ching, she was still lying on the bed drunk. Magical beasts usually have their own cultivation methods. But with such a short time, it's obviously too late. We can only buy pills that can help magical beasts improve their cultivation. Song Shanshan sat on a big rock and rested her chin on her hands. She stared at Yi Hao and said without blinking, "Then after we finish eating the roasted meat, you can bring me to the city to buy some pills." Although Yi Hao knew that the white dragon elephant had dragon blood in its body, Yi Hao was still worried about the strength of the white dragon elephant. The white dragon elephant couldn't be like him and kill enemies that were so many levels higher. Yi Hao estimated that it was at most 1 or 2 levels higher. Chapter 199. The Beast Demon Lodge was the largest place in Beast King City that sold pills. Yi Hao and Song Shanshan quickly finished their barbecue and walked into the Beast Demon Lodge. This Beast Demon Lodge is doing well. As soon as Yi Hao walked in, he smelled the strong fragrance of pills. Of course, most of them are people who have successfully advanced. They want to show off their skills in 2 days, so they are looking for a shortcut here. Song Shanshan held Yi Hao's hand and looked around like a curious baby. Isn't this young Master Xia Hao? Why are you here? Young Master Xia Hao's beast is only at the 2nd rank. He must want to buy pills to help his beast break through. When Yi Hao walked into the Beast Demon Lodge, many people immediately stood out to greet him. There were also many who stood on the spot and whispered, "Master Xue is here." At that moment, a group of people suddenly walked in. The one leading them was naturally Xue Ji. Who is this? Isn't this the famous young Master Xia Hao? Why are you here at the Beast Demon Lodge? When Xue Ji saw Yi Hao, he was obviously stunned for a moment, but he immediately said in a sarcastic tone. Before Yi Hao could say anything, Song Shanshan immediately stood out and said angrily, "It's none of your business whether we buy pills or not." Xue Ji was originally a member of her Song family, but he secretly betrayed the Song family and sided with the country. This made Song Shanshan very unhappy. Haha, Xue Ji seemed to have heard the funniest joke. Even his followers laughed in unison. "I don't think young Mistress Song knows that the Beast Demon Lodge belongs to me, Xue Ji said proudly and looked at Yi Hao provocatively. "Impossible. How can the Beast Demon Lodge be yours? Isn't it the property of the Beast Demon sect?" Song Shanshan immediately questioned. Although the Beast Demon sect couldn't be compared to the Thousand Beast sect, it was still in existence that Beast King City couldn't afford to offend. If the Beast Demon sect belonged to Xue Ji, then why would he betray the Song family to curry favor with the Guo family? It was more like it was the other way around. Nothing is impossible. I'm the son-in-law of this Beast Demon Lodge. If I say that the Beast Demon Lodge is mine, what's wrong with that? This Xue Ji could be considered to have hit the jackpot. He had consecutively appraised a Class 3 and a Class 4 magical beast, and had actually caught the eye of the daughter of the master of the Beast Demon House in Beast King City. He had directly become the son-in-law of the Beast Demon House, and his status had skyrocketed. That was why he dared to say that he would definitely kill Yi Hao's magical beasts. "What's the matter? It's so noisy," an old man asked as he walked down from the 2nd floor. He was supported by a middle-aged woman. "Father-in-law, why did you come down? It's just a small matter." When Xue Ji saw the old man, it was as if he had seen his own father. He hurriedly ran forward to support him. "You must be Xia Hao. You look pretty good." The middle-aged woman didn't care about Xue Ji's feelings. She walked up to Yi Hao while swaying her hips. She spoke flirtatiously and kept throwing flirtatious glances at him. Looking at the middle-aged woman's appearance, Yi Hao almost vomited. He really didn't know why Xue Ji's taste was so heavy. He even wanted such a woman and dared to show off everywhere. When Xue Ji saw this scene, his face turned green and he said awkwardly, "Madam, come and support father-in-law." "Shut up. You have no right to speak here." The middle-aged woman put her hands on her waist and turned around to roar loudly. Saliva flew everywhere from her mouth. The middle-aged woman turned around, flicked her hair, and pretended to be shy as she said, "Little handsome brother, play with big sister. You can take whatever you want from the Beast Demon Lodge." Song Shanshan was instantly infuriated. She stood out and said in disdain, "How shameless can you be? Look at how old you are." "Father-in-law, look." Xue Ji felt that the dignity he had just regained was instantly destroyed by his wife. He instantly became the laughing stock of the crowd. Xue Ji had no choice but to ask the old man for help. The old man gestured for Xue Ji to not be angry and said in a serious tone, "Daughter, come back here." When the middle-aged woman saw Song Shanshan's beauty, her jealousy immediately overflowed, and she said in a fierce tone, "Where did you come from, little girl? Do you believe that I won't scratch your little face?" But when she heard the old man's words, she instantly became docile. She swayed her hips and walked to the old man's side. She shook the old man's arm and said, "Dad, enough." The old man growled. The middle-aged woman instantly became obedient. "Xue Ji, I said that I'll leave this shop to you. You can handle this matter." "Yes, father-in-law." When Xue Ji heard the old man's words, he was delighted. He was afraid that the old man would dote on his daughter too much. If the middle-aged woman took a fancy to Yi Hao, he would be kicked aside. Men, chase these two people out. In a while, the Beast Demon Lodge will not welcome the people of the Song Mansion and this young Master Xia. If Yi Hao could come to the Beast Demon Lodge, he must be here for the pills. But he insisted that Yi Hao would not get what he wanted. When the time came, he would be able to ruthlessly attack Yi Hao in the competition and vent his anger. "Why are you chasing us out?" Song Shanshan said, unconvinced. She was the daughter of the city lord's family. When had she ever suffered such humiliation? Moreover, Xueji's words were undoubtedly blacklisting the Song Mansion. This was an open slap to the Song Mansion's face. It was something she could not tolerate. Although Xueji's words were too impulsive, the old man did not care. Even if he offended the overlord of the Beast King city, the old man was not afraid at all, because he had the Beast Demon sect behind him. This was his confidence. If he wanted to completely capture Xueji, how could he not use some capital? Therefore, the old man acquiesced to Xueji's actions. When the guards of the Beast Demon sect heard Xueji's words, they looked at the old man. The old man nodded slightly, and dozens of guards instantly rushed out. Basically, all of them were martial kings or above. "Please." One of the guards stretched out his hand and said in a tough tone. Seeing this scene, Yi Hao sneered and pulled Song Shanshan's hand. "Shanshan, let's go." Xia Hao actually admitted defeat. Am I seeing things? He's not even afraid of the elders of the Thousand Beasts sect. Why did the Beast Demon Lodge admit defeat? Seeing Yi Hao holding Song Shanshan's hand and walking out, no one could believe the scene in front of them. They did not understand when Yi Hao had become so easy to talk to. He did not even give face to the elders of the Thousand Beasts sect. All right. Yi Hao held Song Shanshan's hand and walked to the door. Suddenly, he stopped in his tracks as if he had thought of something. He turned around and met the old man's gaze. He said, "Old man, those who come are guests, and your Beast Demon Lodge actually chased a guest out of the store. Perhaps you're not suitable to be the lodge master. Don't regret it." Haha, I've been the lodge master for decades, and I've never regretted it. Yi Hao's words made the old man very unhappy. Since when did someone dare to threaten him? However, he did not dare to make a move because Yi Hao was a disciple of the Thousand Beast sect. He could only treat Yi Hao's words as a joke. Chapter 200. Xueji. The old man felt that this wasn't enough and called out in a deep voice. "Son-in-law is here." Xueji hurriedly lowered his head respectfully, looking like he was waiting for orders. "I heard that you want to kill Xia Hao's magical beast in the competition 2 days later." The old man purposely asked in front of Yi Hao. Xueji stole a glance at Yi Hao, then looked at the old man and answered nervously, "Yes. Yes, father-in-law." "Good. Take whatever pills you want from the Beast Demon Lodge. I'll watch it myself on the day of the competition." After the old man finished speaking, he ignored everyone's reaction and went upstairs with the middle-aged woman's help. "Thank you, father-in-law." "Thank you." Xueji thanked him profusely. The old man gave him authority that he didn't have in the beginning. Originally, he could only flaunt his prowess in the Beast Demon Lodge, but he didn't dare to touch anything that belonged to the Beast Demon Lodge. With the old man's words, it was undoubtedly a huge help to him. The reason why he agreed to follow that pig-like woman was because of these pills. In the past, he didn't even dare to think about these pills. But now, he could use them as he pleased. It was like a dream. Right now, he didn't know if he should thank Yi Hao for making his father-in-law unhappy. That was why he was able to fulfill his wish. In the Beast Demon Lodge, Xueji was naturally full of confidence. He looked at Yi Hao and said provocatively, "Xia Hao, just wait and see how I'll kill your magical beast in the competition." Yi Hao shook his head with a cold smile and left with Song Shanshan. He couldn't be bothered with him at all. "Brother Xia Hao, what should we do now?" "According to my sources, this Xueji has a rank 4 magical beast. If we rely on the Beast Demon Lodge, there's still a chance for it to break through to rank 5. Song Shanshan asked worriedly as they walked out of the Beast Demon Lodge. "System, I want to exchange the formula for the experience pill for magical beasts. Yi Hao had already made up his mind. Since he had alchemy skills, he could just refine the pills he didn't have. The only formula that he didn't have could be exchanged with the system. Ding dong. Please choose the formula you want to refine. The system immediately listed out a row of pill formulas for Yi Hao to choose. Let's choose this beast spirit pill. Yi Hao glanced at the pill formula and compared the pros and cons before choosing a pill formula. Ding dong. Congratulations to host for spending 100,000 reputation points to exchange for the beast spirit pill formula. A piece of beast skin suddenly appeared in Yi Hao's space. However, Yi Hao didn't even bother check it because the formula had already appeared in his mind. It was as if it was engraved in his mind. Yi Hao read through the ingredients needed for the recipe in his mind. The most important ingredient was the magical beast crystal core. Fortunately, he had collected a pile of them. As for the other spiritual herbs, they were just ordinary spiritual herbs. They were not too difficult to find. Shan Shan, where can I buy spirit grass? Yi Hao asked the worried Song Shan Shan. With Song Shan Shan around, it would save him a lot of trouble. Spirit herbs? Could it be that Big Brother Xia Hao wants to feed the magical bee spirit herbs directly? Hearing Yi Hao's question, Song Shan Shan guessed. But this is the only way now. Although spirit grass isn't as effective as pills, it still has some use. Song Shan Shan didn't even think that Yi Hao wanted to refine pills because not everyone had the talent to refine pills. Therefore, she thought that Yi Hao wanted to feed spirit grass directly to the magical beast spirit herbs. What are you talking about? Hurry up and bring me there. Yi Hao couldn't be bothered to explain to Song Shan Shan and said anxiously. This was because the lowest level of this pill recipe required a third-stage alchemist, and he was still far from that level. What he urgently needed right now was to raise his level so that he could refine the spirit beast pill. Oh, okay. Song Shan Shan could feel the urgency in Yi Hao's tone and hurriedly brought Yi Hao to another pharmacy. This shop should have a spirit grass that Big Brother Xia Hao needs. Song Shan Shan brought Yi Hao to the entrance of pharmacy. Beast King Pavilion. The name is actually the same as Beast King City. Seeing the name of the shop, Yi Hao was a little surprised. Looking at the size of the shop, it wasn't smaller than the beast monster abode. Instead, it had a longer history. As if she saw Yi Hao's question, Song Shan Shan said, "This Beast King Pavilion used to be the largest beast spirit pill shop in Beast King City. Even the name of Beast King City was changed because of the Beast King Pavilion. It was so powerful. How did it become like this?" Yi Hao was a little surprised. However, looking at the deserted shop, there was a huge difference in popularity between it and the beast monster abode. That's because my Beast King Pavilion can't refine pills anymore. Of course, no one comes. Before Song Shan Shan could speak, a girl in pink walked out of the Beast King Pavilion. Her face was covered with a pink veil, and her voice was beautiful. Miaoyan walked to Yi Hao's side and bowed gently. "Greetings, young Master Xiao Hao. I'm Miaoyan." "Oh, you know me?" Yi Hao was a little surprised that Miaoyan knew his name. "You must be joking, young Master Xiao Hao. You killed the Guo family's father and son, and you didn't even give face to the elders of the Thousand Beast sect. Moreover, you have a heaven-defying beast appraisal skill. Who in Beast King City doesn't know of you?" Miaoyan smiled sweetly and said softly, "Big Brother Xia Hao, aren't we buying spiritual herbs? Let's hurry up and buy them." At this moment, Song Shan Shan treated Yi Hao as her treasure. She was afraid that Miaoyan would snatch him away. She quickly grabbed Yi Hao's shoulder and said, "Sister Shan Shan is still so cute." Miaoyan walked to Song Shan Shan and grabbed her hand. Her tone was kind and friendly. "Young Master Xia Hao, please. Other than pills, my Beast King Pavilion still has a lot of spiritual herbs." Miaoyan pulled Song Shan Shan into the shop. At the same time, she didn't forget to turn around and say to Yi Hao, "Young Master Xia Hao, you can choose whatever spiritual herbs you want." Miaoyan said casually, "Why is there no one in this shop?" Yi Hao looked at the empty medicine shop and asked in confusion. "Sigh." Miaoyan sighed. "Ever since my father died, the few alchemists left the shop. Originally, the business was doing well just by selling spiritual herbs. But now that the Beast Monster Lodge is suppressing it, the Beast King Pavilion can no longer support itself. The corners of Emalian's eyes were filled with sadness. She bitterly smiled and said, "The Beast King Pavilion can no longer afford to keep guards. I dismissed them 2 days ago. Originally, I was going to sell the Beast King Pavilion in a few days. I was going to find a beautiful place to spend the rest of my life." Yihao looked at Emalian with sympathy. He could imagine how difficult it was for a woman to support the Beast King Pavilion alone. So these spiritual herbs are useless. If young Master Xiahao needs them, just take it as a gift from me. Emalian exhaled and pretended to be relaxed. Chapter 201. NCID equals 343287261 what? Yihao's words stunned Emalian. She looked at Yihao and smiled bitterly. Young Master Xia must be joking. Without alchemists, the Beast King Pavilion is destined to close down. Even the lowest level alchemists are proud and arrogant. We can't afford to hire them. I'm only asking if you want or not. Yihao ignored Emalian's question and asked with a firm attitude. Emalian looked deeply at Yihao. She didn't know what methods Yihao had. She smiled and said, "As long as young Master Xia can make my Beast King Pavilion's reputation overshadow the Beast Monster Lodge, I'm willing to repay you with my body." Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the mission. Let the Beast King Pavilion regain its glory and force the Beast Monster Lodge to close down. Mission reward: 1 big gift bag, 100 favorability of Emalian, 1 million experience points, and 1 million resurrection points. It works. Yihao had already figured out the rules of the mission and wanted to give it a try. He didn't expect that his guess was right. Disregarding everything else, just the resurrection points alone were enough for him to summon a martial honorable. Moreover, he didn't like the Beast Monster Lodge to begin with. Now that the Beast King Pavilion had defeated the Beast Monster Lodge, Yihao's method was to rely on the system to summon a few alchemists. "System, how many soul points do I have now?" Yihao asked the system. Originally, he had a lot of soul points, but in order to save his life, Yihao summoned a martial honorable and a martial soul and placed them in his dragon prison lake. Therefore, he had almost no soul points left. However, he still obtained some soul points after killing Lan Bao and the Guo family's father and son. The host still has 100,000 soul points left. How many soul points does an alchemist need? Level 1 alchemists need 300 soul points. Level 2 alchemists need 3,000 soul points. Level 3 alchemists need 30,000 soul points. Level 4 alchemists need 300,000 soul points. Damn, it's so expensive. Yihao listened to the system report and secretly clicked his tongue. Alchemists were actually 3 times more expensive than martial artists. It seemed that alchemists were really more precious than martial artists. However, he only had 100,000 soul points left. There was no hope for him to summon a rank 4 pill refinement master. Yihao came back to his senses and asked Emalian, "Missy, may I ask what rank the pill refinement master of the Beast Demon Lodge is?" The strongest alchemist in the Beast Demon Lodge is their lodge master. He used to be a rank 3 alchemist, but recently it was rumored that he had just broken through to become a rank 4 alchemist. His alchemy skills are abnormally high, far surpassing my father's. Emalian's eyes flickered with intense hatred when she mentioned the Beast Monster Lodge. It could be said that without the Beast Monster Lodge, the Beast King Pavilion wouldn't have become what it was today. The reason why the Beast King Pavilion could be said to have fallen to its current state was mostly because of the oppression from the Beast Monster Lodge. That's why we can't fight with the Beast Monster Lodge. Not to mention their lodge master. They have 1 rank 3 alchemist, 3 rank 2 alchemists, and dozens of rank 1 apprentices. Emalian sighed and said, "So what?" Yihao smiled calmly. After knowing the trump card of the Beast Monster Lodge, he felt a little more confident. "Wait for me, I'll go out for a while." Yihao couldn't summon people in front of them, so he found an excuse to leave temporarily. "Hey, big brother Xiahao, where are you going?" Seeing Yihao leave, Song Shanshan hurriedly asked, "Little sister Shanshan, what's the background of this big brother Xiahao of yours?" Miaolian didn't understand why Yi Hao suddenly left and asked Song Shanshan, who had an anxious look on her face. Song Shanshan shook her head. Big brother Xia Hao is very mysterious. I also don't know where he came from. Only Xie Chunyu knew about Yi Hao's identity. Xie Chunyu only told City Lord Song, so Song Shanshan didn't know. Could it be that he can find an alchemist? Miaolian thought, but immediately felt how ridiculous it was. If alchemists were so easy to find, then the Beast King Pavilion wouldn't have fallen to its current state. Could it be that Xia Hao is an alchemist? Miaolian thought of another possibility. But thinking about Yi Hao's age, even if Yi Hao was an alchemist, so what? Her father had worked hard for his entire life, studying the art of alchemy, but in the end he was only a rank 2 alchemist. Even if Yi Hao was an alchemist, in her eyes, he was only a rank 1 alchemist. Although it wasn't bad, if he wanted to go against the Beast Monster Lodge, it was like an egg hitting a rock. Yi Hao walked to an empty corner, thought for a moment, and said to the system, I want to exchange for 2 rank 3 alchemists, 10 rank 2 alchemists, and 30 rank 1 alchemists. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for spending 99,000 soul points. Character exchange completed. Summon. With Yi Hao's order, 42 alchemists instantly filled the small alley. All of the alchemists looked around, and when they saw Yi Hao, they quickly knelt on the ground and saluted, Greetings, my lord. All right, there's no need to be so courteous. Follow me. With Yi Hao's order, a group of people respectfully followed behind Yi Hao. A beggar looked at the vast crowd and was instantly stunned. He had been waiting here all this time and saw Yi Hao enter with his own eyes. How did it suddenly become so many people? Big brother Xia Hao, where did you find these people? Big sister Miaolian doesn't want your money, but you don't have to empty the shop, right? In just a short while, Song Shanshan had already become familiar with Miaolian. When she saw the 40 to 50 people behind Yi Hao, she covered her mouth and said in shock, What are you talking about? Yi Hao's face was filled with black lines as he gently patted Song Shanshan's head. Young Master Xia Hao, what are you doing? Seeing Yi Hao suddenly bring so many people in, Miaolian was also shocked. The expression on her face was clearly vexed, as if she had invited a wolf into the house. Miaolian's tone was a little unpleasant. She didn't expect Yi Hao to be such a person. But when she thought that there was no use for her to keep these elixirs, she sighed and said, Take all of them away. Don't step into the Beast King Pavilion in the future. Big brother Xia Hao, quickly come and explain. Song Shanshan saw that Miaolian was angry and was a little anxious. She quickly grabbed Yi Hao's shoulder and said. At the same time, she persuaded Miaolian, Big sister Miaolian, Big brother Xia Hao is definitely not such a person. Just listen to his explanation. You guys get to work. When Yi Hao saw that Miaolian had misunderstood, he wanted to explain. But when he saw Miaolian's expression, it was obvious that she didn't want to talk to him. Yi Hao awkwardly rubbed his nose. Although the Beast King Pavilion had fallen, there were still dozens of alchemy furnaces in the alchemy district, proving the glory of the Beast King Pavilion. Yi Hao brought everyone to the side of the alchemy furnace. Looking at the clean alchemy furnace, it meant that Miaolian had been cleaning it every day. Chapter 202. You can take these spiritual herbs as you wish, but you're not allowed to touch these pill furnaces. Because she was standing far away, Miaolian mistakenly thought that Yi Hao wanted to take the pill furnaces. Her heart was suddenly ignited with anger as she walked to Yi Hao and shouted, Miss E, you misunderstood. Yi Hao saw that Miaolian was really angry and wanted to explain. But Miaolian didn't give him a chance at all. She snorted disdainfully. Misunderstanding? What misunderstanding? Don't tell me that you're going to refine pills. Yi Hao nodded slightly, but it made Miaolian sneer even more. Okay, I'll see what you can refine from the people you casually pull from the street. Take a look at this pill recipe and get ready to start. Yi Hao knew that no matter how he explained, it was useless. Only by refining the pill could he win Miaolian's trust. This beast spirit pill could only be refined by a third-rank alchemist. Yi Hao handed the pill recipe to the 2 third-rank alchemists. The two alchemists immediately remembered some of the key points on it and respectfully returned the pill recipe to Yi Hao. Can they really do it? Miaoyan looked at the pill recipe in Yi Hao's hand. Although she couldn't see the content of the pill recipe clearly, she began to have some doubts. After all, in her eyes, these people must be casually pulled from the street by Yi Hao. How would they be alchemists? I'll see how you act. If you can't refine it, I'll see how you clean up the mess. The two alchemists' movements were almost synchronized. They ignited the furnace in one go and put the prepared spiritual herbs and magical beast cores into the pill furnace at different times. They constantly used their mental power to control the intensity of the fire and injected their martial power into the pill furnace. The spirit grasses in the alchemy furnace instantly melted, turning into a mass of liquid, which was stored in every corner of the alchemy furnace. The magic beast core in the middle also slowly melted, splitting into dozens of streams of energy, which then fused into the liquid spirit grasses. Are they really alchemists? Although Miaoyan was not an alchemist, she had been influenced by what she had seen and heard since she was a child. At least, the movements of these two people were somewhat like alchemists in her eyes. However, whether they were or not depended on the final result. The other alchemists were also standing at the side, absorbing the experience. Yi Hao was grinning from ear to ear, and the system's notification cheerfully sounded in his mind. Congratulations, host. Alchemy experience +1. Congratulations, host. Alchemy experience +1. Yi Hao did not expect that he could gain experience just by watching others refine pills. This was really a pleasant surprise. Ouch. Suddenly, Yi Hao sucked in a breath of cold air. Yi Hao lowered his head and looked at the little hand on his waist. He looked at Song Shanshan in pain. Why did you pinch me? Humph, you big pervert. Not only did you peek at Sister Miaoyan, but you also smiled so obscenely. Song Shanshan wrinkled her little nose and said with a jealous tone, When did I? Yi Hao shouted with great desire. Following Song Shanshan's gaze, he saw Miaoyan standing in front of the alchemy furnace. Yi Hao had been staring at the alchemy furnace. In the eyes of the two girls, Yi Hao had been staring at Miaoyan and even showed an obscene smile. Yi Hao felt bitter in his heart. This time, he really couldn't wash away his guilt. Looking at the angry and embarrassed expression on Miaoyan's face, she obviously misunderstood him, like Song Shanshan. Then why did you pinch me? Yi Hao could of course hear the jealousy in Song Shanshan's tone, and deliberately pretended to be depressed and asked, That is because I saw injustice and drew my sword to help. Song Shanshan was asked by Yi Hao, and her heart suddenly became nervous. Oh, okay. What a block of wood. Song Shanshan looked at Yi Hao as if he really didn't understand. She was a little angry and paced her feet. Suddenly, a head bent over to her ear, and the hot breath made her ear itch. Suddenly, her little face blushed. Why do I feel that you are jealous? Don't tell me that you like me. After saying that, Yi Hao looked at Song Shanshan with a mischievous smile. Song Shanshan didn't dare to look at Yi Hao's eyes. She quickly lowered her head, almost burying it in her chest. The pill is done. Open it for me. At this moment, two loud shouts sounded at the same time. With a bang, the lids of the two alchemy furnaces were opened at the same time. A strong medicinal fragrance filled the entire Beast King pavilion, attracting many passers-by to look. It's really done. Miaoyan had been watching the two of them refining the pill. The moment the pill was successfully refined, Miaoyan ran to the side of the two alchemy furnaces. Looking at the alchemy furnaces lying in the furnaces, she happily picked them up. Boo-hoo, I'm so happy. Thank you. Miaoyan looked at the pill in her hand and was so excited that her eyes were filled with tears. She directly threw herself into Yi Hao's arms and sobbed. Yi Hao didn't react to this scene. Strictly speaking, this was the first time a woman threw herself into his arms. Moreover, it was a great beauty. Although Miaoyan was wearing a veil, Yi Hao knew that Miaoyan was definitely good-looking from her delicate body. Yi Hao lowered his head and looked at Miaoyan in his arms. He made up his mind and reached out his hand to hold Miaoyan's slender waist. His heart instantly swayed. However, with so many subordinates here, Yi Hao couldn't do anything excessive. He just looked at Miaolian's slender waist with one hand and stroked Miaolian's hair with the other. When Yi Hao reached out his hand to hold her, Miaolian instantly reacted. Her heart was incomparably nervous. Fortunately, Yi Hao didn't do anything excessive, which made her feel relieved. Feeling Yi Hao's warm embrace, she suddenly wanted to cry out all the grievances in her heart. Song Shanshan stood behind Yi Hao and looked at Miaolian with envy. She pouted her little mouth, but when she heard Miaolian's cries, she also felt pity for Miaolian. She lived in the Beast King city and had more or less heard about Miaolian. She also admired Miaolian very much. Miaolian was a weak woman. It was already very difficult for her to support the Beast King Pavilion until now. This was because the Beast Demon Lodge was too powerful. Even the City Lord Mansion had to fear the Beast Demon Lodge, let alone Miaolian. How difficult was it for her to fight against the Beast Demon Lodge alone? I'm sorry, young Master Xia. This little girl lost her composure. Miaolian suddenly struggled out of Yi Hao's arms and apologized. She quickly went upstairs. Why are you suddenly shy? Yi Hao rubbed his head and looked at the pills in the 2 alchemy furnaces. There were 7 pills in one alchemy furnace and 6 pills in the other alchemy furnace. Adding the pills in Miaolian's hands, there were exactly 7 pills in total. This meant that the 2 of them were equally matched. Yi Hao put away the 2 pills and instructed the 2 alchemists, "You two continue refining pills." However, when he saw the other alchemists, Yi Hao suddenly felt troubled. This was because they couldn't refine the Beast Spirit pill. The only pill formulas he had were the Golden Sore pill and the Laxative pill formulas. Now, the Golden Sore pill didn't have much effect on him. Young Master Xia, these are the pill formulas left behind by my late father. They are all low-level pill formulas. I wonder if young Master Xia can use them. Chapter 203. Really? This is simply too good. Hearing Miaolian's words, Yi Hao's heart was ecstatic. His subordinates finally had a use. Thank you. Yi Hao hurriedly took the stack of pill recipes. You guys get to work. Yi Hao picked out some useful pill recipes and handed them to his subordinates. Everyone immediately got busy. However, there were only a dozen or so pill furnaces on the field, which was not enough for everyone. Yi Hao asked embarrassedly, "Missy, I wonder if there are any more pill furnaces?" "Why? There are so many pill furnaces. Isn't it enough for young Master Xia?" Miaolian asked in confusion. Yes. Yi Hao nodded. Just as Miaolian was about to question him, a dozen or so pill furnaces suddenly lit up with flames at the same time. Miaolian looked at the dozen or so people refining pills in shock and asked in disbelief, They're all alchemists. Yes, is there a problem? Yi Hao did not deny it and looked at Miaolian in confusion. No, Miaolian did not know how to describe her inner thoughts. She looked at Yi Hao in a daze. How did you do it? Miaolian was very curious. How did Yi Hao find so many alchemists in such a short period of time? Could it be that alchemists were really worthless? Miaolian felt as if she was dreaming. Everything that happened in front of her was an illusion, but she clearly knew that all of this was real. It was all done by this young man in front of her. He was indeed very mysterious, as Song Shanshan said. Miss Yi Hao's call woke Miaolian up from her contemplation. What's the matter, young Master Xia? I want to send people to buy a lot of spirit herbs. Yi Hao said with a chuckle. We still have a lot of spirit herbs. There's no need to buy them. Miaolian did not understand. No, if we want to suppress the Beast Demon Lodge, we have to buy a lot of spirit herbs when they are unprepared and then refine them into pills. When the time comes, we can use the price to suppress the Beast Demon Lodge. Yi Hao spoke out his idea. If he wanted to suppress the Beast Demon Lodge, he could only start from the price of pills. The Beast Demon Lodge was the dominant force in the Beast King city. They would never have thought that the Beast Pavilion would suddenly come back to life. Yi Hao wanted to buy all the spirit herbs in the entire Beast King city while they weren't paying attention, so that the Beast Monster Lodge wouldn't have any spirit herbs to use. But we, but we, 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 but seeing Emalian's embarrassed look, Yihao asked in confusion, "Are there any other obstacles? It's just that the Beast King Pavilion doesn't have much liquid capital now." When Emalian said this, she looked embarrassed. After all, the Beast King Pavilion had been holding on for so long and had long been exhausted. "I thought it was something serious." Yihao laughed when he heard Emalian's words. He took out 10 million taels of gold from the space and handed it to Emalian. "Missy, please take them with you to buy the spirit herbs. You must finish it quickly." "So much? Young Master Xia, this won't do." Emalian looked at the silver notes in her hand and felt that it was extremely heavy. She quickly wanted to stuff it back into Yihao's hand. Yihao chuckled and asked, "Don't you want the Beast King Pavilion to regain its glory? If you don't go now, I will leave with my subordinates immediately." Seeing that Yihao was about to get angry, Emalian panicked. "Don't, young Master Xia. I will go now." The Beast King Pavilion was her father's life's work. If it wasn't because she had no other choice, how could she be willing to close the Beast King Pavilion? Now that the Beast King Pavilion finally had a glimmer of hope, Emalian naturally didn't want to let it go. "But young Master Xia, there are too many silver notes here." Emalian took out a large portion of the silver notes and wanted to return it to Yihao. Yihao quickly refused. "Now that the Beast King City is full of people, we have to seize this opportunity. I am afraid that the spirit herbs in the Beast King City are not enough. Send people to other cities to buy spirit herbs, pill furnaces, and formulas." "Okay." Emalian could hear Yihao's ambition from Yihao's tone and quickly nodded in agreement. Seeing Emalian leave, Yihao gave a few instructions to his subordinates. He casually found a room, took out his pill furnace, and began to prepare to refine pills. If he wanted to defeat the Beast Demon Temple, just the price alone wasn't enough. Yihao wanted to defeat the Beast Demon Temple in all aspects. However, the Beast Demon Temple's master was a rank 4 pill refiner. He only had 1,000 soul points left and didn't have many resurrection pills left. It was impossible to summon a rank 4 pill refiner, so he could only rely on himself. Yihao found a rank 2 pill formula from the pill recipe. His subordinates had already prepared the spirit herbs for him. Yihao followed the method in the pill recipe and threw the spirit herbs into the pill furnace one by one. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for successfully refining pills. You have received 10 pill refining experience points. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for successfully refining pills. You have received 10 pill refining experience points. Yihao repeated the pill refining actions like a machine. He kept putting the spirit herbs into the pill furnace and taking out the complete pills. He had already refined dozens of pills. At this moment, the system's notification suddenly rang. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for reaching rank 3. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the pill explosion technique. I've finally leveled up. Yihao was overjoyed. He exhaled and asked, "What's the pill explosion technique?" Yihao checked the pill explosion technique that the system rewarded him and immediately understood. The pill explosion technique was a method of refining pills. Very few people in the Myriad Kingdom continent had mastered it. It was almost lost. Normal pill refiners would start the furnace immediately after refining pills. However, the pill explosion technique separated the pills when they were about to take shape. It could randomly increase the number of pills and the quality of the pills wouldn't be any worse. So magical. After Yihao read the introduction of the pill explosion technique, his curiosity was piqued. He hurriedly threw the spirit herbs into the pill furnace again. It's almost done. Just as the elixir was about to take shape, Yihao's hand made a strange movement, and a strange force was injected into the elixir. At the same time, according to the elixir explosion technique, Yihao's spiritual force was also controlling the elixir. Yihao shouted in his mind, "Open for me." Just as the pills were about to take shape, the 7 pills in the pill furnace instantly exploded. Spirit energy filled the entire pill furnace. However, A strange force instantly fused all the exploded pills together. The pills are done. Yi Hao extinguished the fire and quickly walked to the front of the pill furnace. Seeing 9 round pills lying in the pill furnace, Yi Hao was very excited. It's a success. Chapter 204. According to his normal alchemy routine, he would produce an average of 6 to 7 pills each time. This was his first attempt, and he managed to increase the number of pills by 2. This made Yi Hao exceptionally happy. Yi Hao picked up a pill and took out another pill that he had already refined. Comparing the 2 pills, the pill he refined now was even better than the one he had refined before. Maybe it was related to the increase in his level, but there was almost no difference in the weight of the pills, which made Yi Hao very curious. Yi Hao put away the pills and prepared to continue refining pills. But this time he was going to refine the Bee Spirit pill. He was already a level 3 alchemist. If he were to refine level 2 pills, the experience points would undoubtedly decrease a lot. He had to quickly advance to level 4 alchemist. Shan Shan, where's young Master Xia? In less than an hour, Miaolian came back with more than 10 carriages full of spiritual herbs. Miaolian arranged for people to put the spiritual herbs into the warehouse and looked around the hall. She couldn't see Yi Hao's figure. Only Song Shan Shan was sitting on a chair and dozing off. Oh, there. Song Shan Shan yawned and pointed in the direction of the alchemy room. What's young Master Xia doing in the alchemy room? Miaolian walked to the door of the alchemy room and peeked in through the crack of the door. He actually knows how to refine pills. Miaolian couldn't believe what was happening in front of her eyes. Yi Hao's skillful movements looked even better than her father. Is he still human? Missy is back. Yi Hao was a martial king now. The moment Miaolian appeared at the door, Yi Hao had already noticed. After refining the pills, Yi Hao stood up and opened the door. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to peek. Miaolian was discovered by Yi Hao and felt a little embarrassed. She quickly apologized. Yi Hao shook his head with a smile. How's the spiritual herbs? When Miaolian saw that Yi Hao didn't care at all, she let out a sigh of relief and quickly replied, I've already bought all the spiritual herb stores in the Beast King city. This is just a small part of it. Miaolian pointed at the carriages and said. Yi Hao nodded and signaled her to continue. The prices of these spirit herb shops have been lowered by the Beast Monster Lodge. Although our prices are 10% higher, it's still less than half of the market price. At the same time, I've also followed your instructions and sent some people to the surrounding cities to purchase spirit herbs. Well done. Yi Hao was not stingy with his compliments. At the same time, he did not expect the Beast Monster Lodge to be so black-hearted as to lower the prices of those spiritual herb shops to such an extent. At the same time, in many shops, I bought some ordinary alchemy furnaces at very low prices. Once Miaolian's voice faded, over 10 horse carriages drove in from the gate. Each carriage had 2 to 3 cauldrons on it. I really don't know how to thank you. Yi Hao happily held Miaolian's hand. This Miaolian is meticulous in her work. She's simply taken care of everything. When Miaolian felt her hand being wrapped by Yi Hao's warm palm, her heart couldn't help but become nervous. Her face was instantly dyed red, but it was covered by the veil on her face. Young Master Xia, don't say that. I should be the one thanking you. I never thought that the Beast King Pavilion would become so lively. You must remember what you said. Yi Hao suddenly turned his face and looked at Miaolian. Miaolian instantly felt that her heart was about to jump out. She looked into Yi Hao's eyes and said with a trembling voice, What did you say? Miaolian instantly remembered what she said to Yi Hao at the beginning. As long as Yi Hao could ignite the Beast King Pavilion's glory, she would repay him with her body. Just based on Yi Hao's actions, igniting the Beast King Pavilion's glory was just around the corner. At the beginning, she only said it casually. In her opinion, Yi Hao wouldn't be able to do it. But who knew that Yi Hao really did it? She instantly didn't know what to do. All right, I'm just teasing you. Yi Hao looked at Miaolian in a daze and said with a smile. Miaolian suddenly felt a little disappointed. She carefully looked into Yi Hao's eyes. As long as you treat me well, I'm willing to marry you. but I want to keep the Beast King Pavilion open and expand it. That's my father's lifelong wish." Emelian's words were incomparably serious. Yi Hao was stunned, because he didn't take it seriously from the beginning. He didn't expect Emelian to actually take it seriously. Yi Hao looked into Emelian's clear eyes and held her hand. "You won't regret it." Emelian shook her head and said in a gentle voice, "I won't regret it. All right, I'll help you realize your dream. But you have to think about it carefully." Yi Hao's goal was to unify the myriad kingdom continent, and in terms of capital, there was no doubt that he had a huge amount. Opening a shop that sold beast cores was also part of his plan, and Emelian was a suitable candidate. As for the name of the shop, Yi Hao didn't care, as long as it belonged to him. Emelian carefully looked at Yi Hao. She didn't expect Yi Hao to give her time to think about it. She was incomparably touched and directly threw herself into Yi Hao's arms. "I've thought about it. I'm yours from now on. Don't worry, I'll treat you well." Yi Hao hugged Emelian in his arms. Strictly speaking, this was his first woman. "You're together, just like that? You guys are too hasty." Song Shanshan stood at the side and clearly heard the words of the two people. Looking at the two people who were tightly hugging each other, she opened her mouth and said, "This." Yi Hao was puzzled. He wanted to ask Emelian why she pinched him, but Emelian's whisper came into his ear. "See, your little lover is jealous." "What's going on?" Yi Hao sighed. "Why do women pinch men's waists? Is this a natural skill?" He had already been pinched twice today, first by Song Shanshan, and now by Emelian. They were both so sour. "Don't pretend, don't think I can't see it." Emelian snorted twice. "Tell me honestly, how many women do you have?" Yi Hao lamented how women got into their roles so quickly. Before, she still had a gentle look, and now she was embarrassed. Why was she jealous all of a sudden? "Hey, do you guys still take me seriously?" Song Shanshan looked at the two people who were still whispering sweet nothings and said angrily, "If you don't mind, let's hug together." Yi Hao chuckled and reached out an arm. "You're showing your foxtail?" Emelian took the opportunity to get out of Yi Hao's arms and held Song Shanshan's hand. "Sister Shanshan, let's go. Ignore this big pervert." "How did I become a pervert?" Yi Hao touched his nose. Song Shanshan was held by Emelian with some reluctance. Emelian laughed and asked, "Sister Shanshan, it seems that you want to be hugged by that pervert." "I don't." Song Shanshan was seen through, and she was embarrassed. Her pretty face was as red as an apple, delicious and attractive. Chapter 205. When Yi Hao saw the two girls walking upstairs, an alchemist walked up to Yi Hao and asked, "Lord, where are these alchemy furnaces?" Yi Hao looked around the hall and pointed to the southeast direction. "Clean up that place. Put the alchemy furnaces there. You can refine pills there in the future." Hearing Yi Hao's instructions, the alchemist quickly ordered people to carry the alchemy furnaces down the carriage one by one. "Wait a minute, put this alchemy furnace down first." Yi Hao saw 4 burly men carrying a pitch-black alchemy furnace. It was very simple and unadorned. "Lord, your luck is not bad. This is a rank 3 alchemy furnace." Just when Yi Hao was about to use the probing technique, the weapon spirit of Dragon Prison Lake said, "Sure enough, I found a treasure." Hearing the words of the weapon spirit, Yi Hao was delighted. The alchemy furnace he used was still an ordinary one. A spirit tool alchemy furnace could increase the quality of the pills and increase the success rate of refining the pills. However, a spirit tool alchemy furnace was also very expensive. It was much more expensive than other spirit tools of the same level. What surprised Yi Hao was that he could actually find a treasure in this Beast King city. A rank 3 alchemy furnace was something that could only be found by chance. "Is there a problem with this alchemy furnace?" "This is a gift from someone because I have a lot of spirit herbs." Emelian and Song Shanshan walked in front of Yi Hao at the same time. Emelian saw Yi Hao staring at the alchemy furnace and said, "Someone gave it to me." Yi Hao was a little surprised. This alchemy furnace could definitely buy the entire Beast King Pavilion. It was actually a gift from someone else. "Yeah, can I use it? If I can't use it, I will get people to throw it away." Emelian also didn't like the pitch-black alchemy furnace. If it wasn't for the fact that the Beast King Pavilion lacked alchemy furnaces, she wouldn't have brought this alchemy furnace back. This is a rank 3 alchemy furnace. Yihao whispered in the ears of the two girls. Really? How is this possible? The two women looked at the pitch-black alchemy furnace in disbelief. They couldn't tell that it was a Tier 3 alchemy furnace. Even if they threw it on the street, they estimated that no one would pick it up. It can't be, right? The Beast Monster Lodge only has a single Tier 2 pill furnace, but we unexpectedly obtained a Tier 3 pill furnace. Emelian's eyes were filled with a deep smile. Doesn't that mean we've already surpassed the Beast Monster Lodge? Song Shanshan covered her mouth and said excitedly. The Beast Demon Lodge only had one rank 3 alchemist, while the Beast King Pavilion had 3, including Yihao. There were 2 more alchemists than the Beast Demon Lodge. The Beast Monster House had 3 rank 2 alchemists, while the Beast King Pavilion had 10. There were less than 20 Tier 1 alchemists, but the Beast King Pavilion had 30 of them. Even their alchemy cauldrons were more powerful than those of the Beast Demon Lodge. Don't be happy too early. Don't forget that their housemaster is a 4th rank alchemist. Yihao gently stroked Song Shanshan's head. Then what should we do? Emelian knew that Yihao's worries were correct. Just the housemaster of the Beast Demon Lodge alone was enough to resist all the advantages of the Beast King Pavilion. We'll open for business tomorrow. The price of the pills will be 2 times lower. Yihao made a decision. Isn't it too hasty? Emelian said worriedly. The competition is the day after tomorrow. I believe there must be a lot of people who haven't bought the pills, and the price of the Beast Demon Lodge has tripled. We have to seize this opportunity. Moreover, we've bought so many pills, so it's impossible that the Beast Demon Lodge doesn't know. We can't delay any longer. Yeah, Emelian thought for a moment and nodded, thinking that Yihao's words made sense. Where are you going? Emelian asked in confusion as she watched Yihao walk towards the alchemist with his alchemy cauldron. I have to raise my alchemy level to Tier 4 as soon as possible. Yihao's tone was solemn. He also felt a lot of pressure to raise his alchemy profession by tomorrow. Are you crazy? The two girls looked at each other and said in unison. Other people's alchemy skills were accumulated over a long period of time. Who could raise their alchemy level overnight? Seeing that Yihao didn't seem to be joking, the two girls had no choice but to prepare for the opening ceremony tomorrow. Song Shanshan hurried back to the Song residence, wanting her grandfather to help with the promotion. Therefore, the alchemists also sat down and frantically refined pills to prepare for the opening ceremony tomorrow. Xueji sat in the private room, squinting his eyes as he looked at the wine cup in his hand and asked softly, "Have you found out who's buying the pills?" The guard behind him quickly replied, "Reporting to young master, we found out that the Beast King Pavilion is buying spiritual herbs." Beast King Pavilion? Xueji put down the wine cup in his hand and closed his eyes. The Beast King Pavilion doesn't even have an alchemist, so why are they buying so many spiritual herbs? Could it be that they want to start a spiritual herb business? Reporting to young master, it said that a group of people suddenly appeared in the Beast King Pavilion. It seems that someone is refining pills in the Beast King Pavilion, and the Beast King Pavilion has bought dozens of alchemy cauldrons. The guard looked at Xueji with envy. He was so lucky to become the son-in-law of the Beast King Pavilion. Impossible. Xueji couldn't help but raise his voice. Do you think I'm a fool? Alchemists are so rare. How could the Beast King Pavilion have so many alchemists? Hearing the guard say that the Beast King Pavilion had bought dozens of alchemy cauldrons, Xueji was furious. It was obvious that he didn't believe the guard words. The guard quickly knelt on one knee and said with a sad face, "Young master, please understand. Everything I said is true. Come with me to report to my father-in-law." Xueji knew that this was no small matter. He quickly got up and led the guard to the 3rd floor. Knock, knock, knock. Xueji walked to the room on the 3rd floor. He stood at the door and tidied up his clothes. He gently knocked on the door and said, "Father-in-law, I have something to report." After a moment of silence, the voice of the Beast King Pavilion's master came. "Oh, it's Xueji. Come in." Xueji carefully opened the door and saw an old man in a coat sitting by the bed. Xueji accidentally saw a beautiful girl tied to the bed. Xueji quickly looked away. Ahem, Xueji, what's the matter? The old man coughed a few times and asked. At the same time, his skinny old hands were still moving around the girl's body. The girl's mouth was also gagged, so she could only make sounds of struggling. Hurry up and tell me everything from the beginning. Xueji pulled the guard over, and the guard hurriedly told him everything. The old man's face became gloomier. Even his eyebrows were knitted together. There hasn't been any news from the gang recently. No other forces have entered the Beast King city. Hearing that the Beast King Pavilion had made such a big move, the old man instantly thought of other forces. He thought for a while and said, "We can't make a rash decision on this matter. I want to see what the Beast King Pavilion is doing. I'll send someone back to the sect to ask. You may leave." The old man waved his hand and said to the guard. When Xueji saw the guard leave, he suddenly felt uneasy. He asked fearfully, "Father-in-law, is there anything else?" Chapter 206. The old man squinted his eyes, got up, and closed the door. Xueji's heart trembled violently. He didn't dare to look back and lowered his head. "Take off your clothes and go play with her." The old man walked to the table and said to Xueji. When Xueji heard the old man's words, he immediately knelt down while trembling. Little Sue doesn't dare to apologize enough. Hurry up and go. The old man snorted impatiently. Xueji carefully looked at the old man and reached out with his trembling hands to take off his clothes. Hurry up and go. Otherwise, your wife will be back soon. After the old man said that, Xueji looked at the beautiful girl on the bed. He was instantly aroused. He clenched his teeth and pounced on her. The old man looked at Xueji's actions, and a mocking smile appeared on his face. He sat there quietly. After a while, Xueji finished and turned to look at the old man. The old man ruthlessly said, "Kill her." Seeing the old man throw the dagger, Xueji looked at the shy and beautiful girl under him. He said reluctantly, "Father-in-law, such a good girl. Wouldn't it be a pity to kill her? You can choose not to kill her. This is the granddaughter of an elder in the Thousand Beasts sect. It's up to you to kill her." After the old man said that, he didn't wait for Xueji's reaction and turned to leave. What? How could this be? When Xueji heard the old man's words, he instantly collapsed on the bed. He carefully looked at the girl under him. She didn't look like a girl from an ordinary family. If the Thousand Beasts sect knew about this, not to mention whether he could still enter the Thousand Beasts sect, he definitely wouldn't be able to escape death. Xueji made up his mind. He picked up the dagger and stabbed it into the girl's throat, ignoring her struggle. Clap, clap, clap. The old man pushed the door open and clapped. Congratulations on making the right choice. I will take care of the rest for you. The condition is that you don't betray me. Otherwise, you won't be able to escape death. Little Sue understands. Baldy Xueji crawled up from the corpse and quickly put on his clothes. If he was only using the Beast Demon Lodge before and could abandon it when he reached the Thousand Beast sect, then his life was now in the old man's hands. Old ginger is spicier. Xueji took a deep look at the old man and left. Father, you're really something. Just as Xueji left, the middle-aged woman walked out from behind the bed. She looked at Xueji's departing figure and sneered. Does he really think that I'm senile and want to use me? Now, you have to listen to me obediently. The old man chuckled. Father, the matter of the Beast King Pavilion? Make a trip back to the sect and help me check if other forces have invaded Beast King City. Yes, Father. How's the situation at the Beast King Pavilion? Early in the morning, the old man was very concerned about the Beast King Pavilion. He had already sent his subordinates to the Beast King Pavilion. The guard smiled and said, "Housemaster, don't worry. The Beast King Pavilion has been open for more than 2 hours, but not a single elixir has been sold." "Ha! I thought this Beast King Pavilion had some ability." The old man looked at the packed Beast Demon Lodge and smiled in satisfaction. He took out a silver note from his pocket. "You did well. Here's your reward. Continue your observation." Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for successfully refining elixir. Experience gained +20. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for leveling up his alchemy profession. Current level, Level 4 Alchemist. Ding dong, reward to the host. Level 4 Bee Spirit Elixir Formula 1. Reward to the host. Level 4 Golden Soar Medicine Formula 1. Reward, 100,000 experience points. That's great. There are actually 2 more formulas. Yihao listened to the system's notification. His elementary Golden Soar Medicine had long lost its effect. He was still thinking of buying the elixir formula. He didn't expect the system to give him one. Although the 100,000 experience points rewarded by the system were a lot, it wasn't enough for Yihao to level up. However, it was almost enough. Yihao pushed open the door and saw his subordinates working hard to refine elixirs. It seemed that most of them had stayed up all night like him. However, the hall was deserted. Instead, there were some people crowding around the door. Emilian was so excited that she didn't sleep well. When she saw Yihao come out, she quickly ran over. Xiaohao, you're out. What's wrong? This matter isn't urgent. Why isn't there a single customer in the store? Yihao asked, puzzled. Emilian thought that Yihao wasn't able to level up, so he wasn't willing to say. However, she didn't ask and quickly replied, "These people don't believe in our elixirs. Until now, no one has come to ask about the price." How can this be? Yihao didn't expect the situation to turn out like this. After thinking for a while, he said, "Let's have people move the pill furnaces outside to refine the elixirs. I don't believe that they still don't believe in us." "Okay, I'll do it right away." At this point, Emilian had no other choice but to follow Yihao's arrangement. Everyone moved the pill furnaces outside and began to refine the elixirs. However, after more than half an hour, several batches of elixirs had been refined, but still, no one came to buy them. Yihao was also a little anxious. He walked to a deserted corner, casually changed his appearance, and walked into the crowd. "Brother, why aren't you buying the elixirs?" Yihao smiled and asked a young man who was watching attentively. The young man looked at Yihao and said, "You're an outsider, right?" Yihao nodded. The young man revealed a relieved expression and explained, "You don't know, but the Beast King Pavilion was about to close down yesterday because they didn't have a single alchemist. Today, I don't know where they found these people from. But aren't they refining elixirs? They are refining elixirs, but who knows what the quality of the elixirs are? If I buy some inferior elixirs, I might as well spend more money and buy them from the Beast Monster Lodge." The young man's words instantly gained the approval of the people around him. This little brother is right. Although all elixirs look similar, there are differences in quality. Although the Beast Monster Lodge's elixirs are a little more expensive, the quality is still good. However, I don't know where the Beast King Pavilion found these alchemists from, so the quality is uncertain. I see. Yihao nodded secretly. He finally understood where the reason was. He had neglected the quality aspect before, which was what everyone was most worried about. This was because elixirs of the same grade were also divided into low grade, mid grade, high grade, and the higher grade of perfect elixirs. With different grades, there would be differences in the efficacy of the elixirs. After all, the elixirs refined by alchemists of the same grade would more or less be different. Chapter 207. Yihao knew where the problem was. He walked to an empty corner, changed back into his own clothes, and walked back into the shop. Seeing Yihao return, Emilian couldn't help but get up and ask anxiously, "Xiaohao, how's the situation? They don't really believe in the quality of our pills." Yihao pointed out the crux of the problem. "Then what should we do?" Emilian couldn't make up her mind and placed her hopes on Yihao. She had already regarded Yihao as her backbone. "Send the pills." Yihao spat out 3 words. "Send the pills?" Emilian covered her mouth and looked at Yihao in shock. "Then wouldn't we suffer a huge loss? Don't talk about defeating the Beast Monster Lodge. We might just close down. Watch me." With a faint smile on his face, Yihao held Emilian's hand and walked to the entrance of the Beast King Pavilion. He summoned the White Dragon Giant Elephant, and Yihao jumped on top of the elephant's head. The White Dragon Giant Elephant snorted, instantly attracting everyone's attention. "It's Xiaohao. Why is he here? What does he want? Could it be that he wants to buy pills here? I heard that he went to the Beast Monster Lodge and was chased out by Shueji's men." The onlookers retracted their gazes from the alchemists and looked at Yi Hao, discussing in groups of 3 to 5. Everyone quiet down. This Beast King Pavilion is opened by me, Xia Hao. Now I'll send out 100 Tier 1 pills, 10 Tier 2 pills, and 2 Tier 3 pills. Remember, it's first come, first served. Each person can only receive 1 pill. Yi Hao used the power of martial arts to support his voice, and it resounded throughout the street. Giving medicinal pills? Are you serious? Immediately, some people became restless and stepped forward to ask. It's true. You're the first to ask. This Tier 3 B Spirit pill is yours. Yi Hao took the pill bottle from Miaoyan, took out a Tier 3 B Spirit pill, and tossed it to the person who spoke. That person was stunned. He looked at the pill in his hand. He didn't expect that he would receive a Tier 3 pill just because he said a few words. Me too. Give me a pill. Seeing that Yi Hao was really giving out elixirs, more people started to shout excitedly. Yi Hao smiled and threw out the elixirs one by one. You can give it to your magical beasts. Looking at the pills in his hand, Yi Hao said, I've given you the pills for free. Now, I'd like to ask you to do me a favor and see how effective my pills are. Everyone who received the pills nodded. After all, they had received a pill from Yi Hao for no reason. It was only right for them to help him prove the efficacy of the pill. Moreover, they were also eager to know the efficacy of the pill given by Yi Hao. Wait, just as everyone released their magical beasts, a group of people suddenly walked over from the crowd. The one who spoke was Xueji. He told you to test the medicinal pills, so you did it. You're too stupid. Don't forget that he's also a contestant. Aren't you afraid that there's something in the pills? Xueji snatched the pill from someone's hand and sniffed it before throwing it to the ground and crushing it with his foot. What are you doing? The person whose pill was snatched questioned loudly. Don't be angry. This is a pill from our Beast Demon Lodge. The quality is guaranteed. Compared to that pill with something in it, you've made a killing. Xueji patted that person's shoulder and took out a pill from his pocket. Looking at the pill in Xueji's hand, and then looking at the crushed pill on the ground, that person raised his head to look at Xia Hao, and then happily received the pill from Xueji. Those who wanted to feed the pills to their magical beasts started to hesitate. Looking at the pills in their hands, they didn't know what to do. Today, our Beast Demon Lodge will be merciful. As long as you throw the pills in your hands to the ground and crush them, you can get a pill of the same grade from us. Xueji walked to the front of the crowd and said to them. At the same time, he gave Yi Hao a provocative look. Xueji's words moved even more people. After all, what Xueji said made sense. No one knew where the Beast King Pavilion found an alchemist. Who knew if there was something wrong with the pills? And the reputation of the Beast Demon Lodge was better than that of the Beast King Pavilion. Seeing that many people were moved, Xueji smirked and continued. Look at his magical beasts. They're still of the same grade. If there's nothing wrong with his pills, why didn't he let his magical beasts eat them? What he said makes sense. Anyway, we can exchange for a pill from Xueji. We won't lose anything. Master Xue, I'm willing to exchange with you. After a while, a skinny young man stepped forward and said to Xueji in a fawning manner, Then crush the pill, and I'll give you a pill of the same grade. Xueji said with a smile. At this moment, he felt extremely refreshed. Letting everyone step on Yi Hao's pill was equivalent to slapping Yi Hao in the face. Furthermore, when the time came, he wouldn't be able to sell a single pill. When the skinny young man heard Xueji's words, he was a little reluctant to part with the pill in his hand. After all, if the pill was crushed, the spiritual energy of the pill would disappear and the pill would lose its effect. If the pill in his hand was real, then he would suffer a great loss by stepping on it. His pill was a rank 2 pill. Why are you reluctant? You have to think carefully. As long as you step on that pill, you can obtain a pill from the Beast Demon Lodge. Xueji could guess the young man's thoughts. He immediately took out a rank 2 pill and said to the young man, If the pill in your hand is mixed with something, then it won't be good. Hearing Xueji's words, the young man's expression changed. He made up his mind and was about to throw the pill on the ground. Wait a minute. Yi Hao suddenly said, This pill was given by me, Xia Hao. Do you want to return it to me? However, if you dare to step on it, no matter who you are, you will die without a doubt. Yi Hao's voice was incomparably cold and contained a thick, killing intent. The young man panicked. After all, Yi Hao was an existence that could kill an eighth-order martial king in an instant. The young man knew that he was no match for Yi Hao. The young man raised his hand and made a pose as if he was about to throw the pill, but he didn't dare to land it. Young Master Xia, you are too overbearing. You're the one who gave out the pill. Why do you care what others do with it? Xue Ji said sarcastically. Shut up. You dared to step on my pill just now, so you are destined to die. If anyone dares to throw my pill, I will kill you first. Yi Hao's eyes flashed with killing intent as he looked at Xue Ji and said word by word. At the same time, the blood-scarred dual blades appeared in his hands. Xue Ji wanted to say something, but when he saw the dual blades in Yi Hao's hands, he recalled the scene of the Guo family's father and son being killed. He swallowed his saliva and swallowed his words. Chapter 208. Master Xue, this. The young man cast a questioning look at Xue Ji. Return it to him, and I'll still give you the pills, Xue Ji said with an awkward smile. Hearing Xue Ji's words, many people heaved a sigh of relief. If they had to go against Yi Hao, they were willing to give up on Xue Ji's pills. But now that Xue Ji had relented, as long as they returned Yi Hao's pills, they wouldn't offend either side and would still get a pill. By the way, the Beast King Pavilion will give a 50% discount to anyone who I give the pills to today. The rest of the customers will get a 20% discount, but I won't blame anyone who exchanges for the pills, but there won't be any discount. Seeing that many people had the intention of returning the pills, Yi Hao said softly. Hearing Yi Hao's words, many people began to hesitate. That was a 50% discount, which was almost a buy one, get one free deal. One had to know that the Beast Demon Abode didn't give discounts, and the price alone was 3 times higher. Comparing the two, the Beast King Pavilion's pills were like cabbage. How about it, Master Xue? Do you want to give the customers a discount? Yi Hao chuckled as he looked at Xue Ji. Yi Hao's words immediately made everyone look at Xue Ji's people, hoping that Xue Ji would give a bigger discount. After all, when comparing the two shops, most people were still skeptical about the quality of the pills from the Beast King Pavilion. Instead, they believed in the Beast Demon Abode's pills more. It was just that the Beast Demon Abode's pills were too expensive for people to afford. That was why so many people stopped by the Beast King Pavilion to see the effects of the pills. Xue Ji's expression turned ugly. It was fine for him to use the Beast Demon Abode to flaunt his prowess and give out a few pills. He could even suppress Yi Hao's face. Perhaps his father-in-law would even reward him. But when it came to discounting the Beast Demon Abode's pills, he really didn't have the authority to do so. At that moment, a Beast Demon Loft Guard ran over and whispered into Xue Ji's ear. Xue Ji's face lit up as he deliberately coughed twice and said, "To thank everyone for their support of the Beast Demon Loft, the price of the Beast Demon Loft's pills has been restored. Furthermore, those who exchange Beast King Hall's pills will enjoy a 20% discount." Xue Ji's words immediately moved many people. If it had been yesterday, everyone would have jumped for joy and crowded the Beast Monster Lodge. However, now that the Beast King Pavilion was offering a lower price, even more people started to compare. This was human nature. If the Beast Demon Lodge was the only one selling magical beast pills, the Beast Demon Lodge would have restored the price at this critical juncture. Most likely, everyone would go to the Beast Monster Lodge to buy it, and they would feel that they had taken advantage of the situation. However, now that the Beast King Pavilion had appeared, and its price was even lower than the Beast Demon Lodge's original price, even more people began to hesitate. They wanted to know the quality of the Beast King Pavilion's pills and how they compared to the Beast Demon Lodge's. What are you hesitating for? Even if you don't believe in the Beast Demon Lodge, don't tell me you don't believe in the Beast Demon Sect. Xue Ji thought that after he announced this news, everyone would look at him with admiration and gratitude. However, to his surprise, everyone just looked at him quietly. It was as if the shocking news of the Beast Demon Lodge lowering the price had no effect on them at all. Besides, Who knows where the Beast King Pavilion found these alchemists? Do you think their pills can be compared to our beast demon lodges? Shueji continued to shatter the hearts of those who were still hesitating. Young Master Xia, I don't want this pill anymore. Here, take it. At this moment, the skinny young man walked to the giant elephant's side and nervously handed the pill to Yi Hao. Yi Hao took the pill with a smile and nodded gently. He didn't even look at the young man, nor did he say anything. When Shueji saw someone return the pill to Yi Hao, he immediately laughed and took out a pill. This pill is yours. You performed well. Today, the Beast Demon Lodge will give you a 30% discount. Thank you, Master Shui. The young man happily took the pill and stood to the side. What are you waiting for? Time is limited. Don't regret it when the time comes. Shueji continued to provoke the crowd. Miaolian stood to the side and was secretly anxious. She kept winking at Yi Hao, but Yi Hao's eyes were slightly closed as if he was asleep. Miaolian wanted to speak a few times, but when she saw Yi Hao's appearance, she swallowed her words back. With the young man taking the lead, it didn't take long for nearly half of the people to return the pill to Yi Hao. Yi Hao just smiled and took the pill back. He didn't say a word to persuade them to stay. On the contrary, Shueji kept talking nonstop, making more people return the medicinal pills to Yi Hao. Seeing that nearly half of the people returned the pill, Miaolian wasn't the only one who was anxious. Even the alchemist stopped refining and looked at Yi Hao anxiously. Brother Xia Hao, what are you doing? Why didn't you say a few words to persuade them to stay? These people are going to leave soon. Song Shanshan, who was standing in the crowd, looked at Yi Hao. She was so anxious that her little hands kept playing with the corner of her clothes. Xia Hao, you're really not simple. How many secrets do you have? Xie Chunyu, who was hiding in the crowd, looked at Yi Hao, who was sitting on the white dragon elephant. She was very curious. How did Yi Hao become the boss of the Beast King Pavilion overnight? And he even got so many alchemists. It was only now that Xie Chunyu realized that Yi Hao was the one who had caused a huge uproar in the Beast King city yesterday. He had even purchased all the spirit herbs in the city. This girl seems to have known about it a long time ago. She actually kept it from me. Xie Chunyu looked at Song Shanshan in the crowd and thought angrily. Is there anyone else? This is a rare opportunity. Shueji saw that more than half of the people had returned the pill to Yi Hao. His face was full of smiles. After a while, there were still 30 to 40 people left. They were holding the pills that Yi Hao had given them. Their hearts were still firmly on Yi Hao's side. Yi Hao suddenly opened his eyes and said solemnly, All right, Xia Hao, thank you for believing in me. Now, I implore you to let your magical beasts eat our pills. Xia Hao, guarantee that if there are any problems with your magical beasts, the Beast King Pavilion will compensate you with 3 times the price of your magical beasts. All right, I believe in you, young Master Xia. The person who had received the rank 3 pill at the beginning stood out and said. At the same time, he released his magical beast. His magical beast was a peak rank 2 giant lizard. If he wanted to upgrade it, rank 2 pills would no longer be effective. He could only use rank 3 pills. If the rank 3 pills quality was good, it would be enough to upgrade the giant lizard to rank 3, rank 1. Wait, little brother, don't be so stubborn. If there's a problem with your magical beast and you can't participate in the competition tomorrow, even if the Beast King Pavilion compensates you, you'll lose more than you gain. Shueji didn't want to let Yi Hao off so easily. He took out a rank 3 pill from his pocket and said, I've already given that brother a rank 3 pill. Here's another one. Since they're both rank 3 pills, why don't you use my safe one? Hearing Shueji mention the competition tomorrow, that person actually started to hesitate. What Shueji said made sense. The most important thing was to participate in the competition tomorrow and enter the Wanshou sect. If there was a problem with Yi Hao's pill and his magical beast couldn't participate in the competition tomorrow, then the loss would outweigh the gain. Chapter 209. He looked at Yi Hao and noticed that Yi Hao was looking at him quietly with a faint smile on his face. It was as if he was very confident in his pills. In his eyes Ji was just a clown. He made up his mind and cupped his fist at Ji. Haha, that's the right thing to do. Seeing the young man cupping his fist at him, Ji thought that the young man was on his side. His smile became even brighter. I think Master Shui has misunderstood. Thank you for your kindness. I believe in young Master Xia Hao, the young man said to Ji awkwardly. The smile on Ji's face froze. He snorted coldly. You don't know what's good for you. You did well. Thank you for believing in me. This pill is also yours. Yi Hao tossed the pill that someone had just returned to the young man. The young man quickly caught it and thanked him. He then fed one of the pills to his giant lizard. When the giant lizard smelled the scent of the pill, it was extremely excited. It swallowed the pill in one gulp. Everyone turned their attention to the giant lizard. Squeak! The giant lizard cried out as its aura burst out. Boom! The giant lizard's aura shook, and its aura instantly became thicker. Yes, there is no problem with the quality of this pill. Seeing the giant lizard leveling up, everyone was overjoyed. The young man's face was filled with excitement. Squeak! Under normal circumstances, after a magical beast leveled up, it would become obedient. But the giant lizard was still squeaking on the spot. Ha ha! I told you that there is something wrong with this pill. I told you, and you didn't listen. Now you regret it. Ji was very unhappy that the giant lizard had leveled up. But when he saw the giant lizard acting strangely, he immediately began to mock it. When a young man heard the giant lizard squeaking, he panicked. But when he communicated with the giant lizard through the medium jade tablet, the young man was overjoyed and looked at Ji with disdain. Is there something wrong with this kid's brain? How can he laugh when something is wrong with his magical beast? I think he is regretting not listening to you. Now that he has been provoked, he can't take it. Ji and his subordinates discussed loudly without restraint. As long as the Beast King Pavilion's elixirs couldn't be sold, they would be able to achieve their goal. They didn't expect the Beast King Pavilion's elixirs to actually have a problem. Master Xia, I really didn't expect you to be such a despicable person. For the sake of profiteering and participating in the competition, you actually resorted to such despicable means. Ji pointed at Yi Hao and questioned him loudly. Those who were still holding Yi Hao's pills looked at the pills in their hands, not knowing what to do. If you don't know anything, then shut up, Yi Hao said coldly as his gaze turned cold. You boom. My cultivation level has increased. I actually broke through another level. Just as Ji was about to refute Yi Hao, the aura of the giant lizard grew even stronger. A sharp-eyed person shouted excitedly. How is this possible? How is it possible to break through twice? Ji shook his head in disbelief. However, the aura of the giant lizard was unmistakable. The giant lizard was at the peak of the second rank at the beginning. Now that it had eaten a pill, its cultivation level had increased to the second rank of the third rank. That's because the Beast King Pavilion's elixirs are better. It's not something your Beast Demon Lodge's elixirs can compare to. The young man was in a very good mood. He had finally made the right bet. He still had a third-rank elixir in his hand. If nothing went wrong, the giant lizard could break through again. He had instantly become a loyal admirer of the Beast King Pavilion. Seeing that Ji still wanted to stand out and cause trouble, the young man couldn't help but mock him. It's just that your elixir was only an accident. I think this is just an accident. Perhaps only a medicinal pill is good. You are someone that Xia Hao deliberately found. The magical beast had already taken the medicinal pill in advance. What kind of method did you use to make the magical beast break through twice in a row? Ji's mind was working quickly, and he suddenly asked, You're slandering me. I don't even know Master Xia. The young man didn't expect Ji to use such a shameless method to slander Yi Hao. If you say you don't know him, then you don't know him. Do you have any proof? That's right. I think Master Shui is right. You must have colluded and fed the demonic beast the elixir in advance to deceive everyone into buying your elixir. Ji's subordinates all stood out to support Ji's words. They were originally from the Beast Demon Lodge. Naturally, they didn't want to see the Beast King Pavilion's elixir being better than the Beast Demon Lodge's. Otherwise, How could the Beast Demon Lodge sell their elixirs? Everyone, please believe me. I really don't know Master Xia. Seeing so many people starting to buy Yi Hao, the young man couldn't help but anxiously explain. Originally, when a young man's giant lizard broke through 2 ranks, everyone knew that the Beast King Pavilion's elixir was better than the Beast Demon Lodge's. That was because the Beast Demon Lodge's elixir could only allow the demonic beast to break through by 1 rank. Immediately, many people were prepared to take out their money to buy the elixir. But when they heard Xue Ji's words, many people became suspicious. Because what Xue Ji said wasn't impossible. When a demonic beast consumed a breakthrough elixir, and then consumed a special elixir to restrain it, it was possible for the demonic beast to break through consecutively in an instant. Xue Ji is right. I believe that many people have used this method before. Suddenly, an old voice was heard. Everyone hurriedly opened up a path. The master of the Beast Demon Lodge? Why is he here? This Beast King Pavilion is also a demonic beast elixir pharmacy. If the Beast King Pavilion survives, it will be a powerful opponent of the Beast Demon Lodge. Can he make the decision? The person who came was the master of the Beast Demon Lodge. In fact, he had been in the crowd for a long time. But what surprised him was that the Beast King Pavilion was opened by Yi Hao. He recalled Yi Hao's words yesterday and told him not to regret it. He snorted and didn't care at all. If he knew that Yi Hao would open a demonic beast elixir pharmacy, he would have sold the elixir to Yi Hao. Then, he wouldn't have caused so much trouble. Fortunately, Xue Ji was very smart. He fooled the crowd so that they didn't dare to buy the Beast King Pavilion's elixir. The reason why he stood out was that he was afraid that Xue Ji's words wouldn't be convincing enough. But his words were different. Hearing the master of the Beast Demon Lodge's words, many people nodded. The reason why the demonic beast consumed the special elixir was to allow the demonic beast to break through several levels in an instant. This way, the enemy would be caught off guard. Master Yang, are you saying that the Beast King Pavilion played such a trick? Many people still believed in the master of the Beast Demon Lodge. After all, he was a rank 4 alchemist and had experience. I don't know about that. After all, this old man didn't see it. But there's no lack of people who would do that. The master of the Beast Demon Lodge stroked his white beard and said with a smile, giving an ambiguous answer. Chapter 2:10. Gongzi Xia, we admire your beast appraising skills. Why don't you tell us the truth about your pills? Don't waste our time here. That's right, young Master Xia. Please give us an answer. Many of the more impatient ones immediately question Yi Hao. I think everyone is thinking too much. Even if this person is my man, these people aren't. Yi Hao smiled when he saw that someone was questioning him. He pointed at the remaining 30 to 40 people who were still holding onto his pills. The group of people who were holding the pills saw that everyone's gazes were on them. Many of them smiled bitterly. Young Master Xia, you must be joking. We don't dare to use your pills because we're afraid that they might be problematic like what Master Xue said. That's why we don't dare to give them to our demonic beasts. I know him. His name is Zhang Ergu. He's right. We've been together every day for the past 2 days. He can't be young Master Xia's man. I know him. He's my servant. He can't be young Master Xia's man. He's not either. One by one, the onlookers stood out and pointed out. Yi Hao had a faint smile on his face as he gestured for everyone to be quiet. Since you don't think they're my men, then you won't be suspicious anymore if they let their demonic beast consume my pills. Of course. How can we not trust someone we know? As long as their demonic beasts consume the pills, let alone 2 consecutive breakthroughs, even if they can break through once, I'll buy young Master Xia's pills without hesitation. Me too. All right. Please let your demonic beasts consume the pills. After that, I'll give you another one. I, Xia Hao, will never take back what I've given you. Having said that, Yi Hao took the pills that those people had returned and said, Everyone, since young Master Xia is so generous, let's let our demonic beast consume it. A plump middle-aged man cupped his hands and said to the crowd, All right. Everyone stood up and agreed. The onlookers quickly opened up a space for everyone to let their demonic beasts out. Roar, squeak, hiss, all sorts of demonic beasts cried out as they happily consumed the pills in their master's hands. Not long after, some magical beast began to break through. This magical beast has broken through. That's nothing. I only broke through twice in a row. Don't make a fuss. I've already seen a dozen magical beasts break through twice. Young Master Xia, I want to buy Tier 3 medicinal pills. Give me 10 of them. Young Master Xia, I want level 1 to level 3 pills. I'll take 10 of each. Seeing so many magical beasts break through, almost all of them had 2 breakthroughs in a row. With only a few breaking through once, the onlookers became excited. These people had already proven that they weren't Yihao's men, so what did that mean? It only meant that the quality of the Beast King Pavilion's pills was better than the Beast Monster Lodge's. Seeing that some people had already taken out banknotes, more people began to react. One by one, they shouted loudly, afraid that they would not be able to snatch the medicinal pills. Grandmaster Shui, don't tell me you still want to say that these people are all young Master Xia's men? The giant lizard youth had been wronged by Shui Ji in the beginning. Now, he could finally vent his anger. Who knows if they are or not? Shui Ji was still stubborn, but the crowd simply ignored him. Everything was seen with their own eyes. They had all seen the power of the Beast King Pavilion's pills with their own eyes. No matter what Shui Ji said now, they didn't care. Everyone, don't be anxious. The Beast Monster Lodge has always said that there's something wrong with my Beast King Pavilion's pills. Now, my Beast King Pavilion has proven it. Everyone has seen the effects of my Beast King Pavilion's pills. Since the Beast Monster Lodge's pills are so expensive, everyone must want to see the effects of the Beast Monster Lodge's pills. Yihao looked at the crowd, who wanted to fight for the pills. He didn't want to end like this. Shui Ji had been nagging for a long time. He couldn't just let him go like this. He had to collect some interest. My Beast Monster Lodge's pills are authentic. Is there a need to verify it? Shui Ji felt guilty. The Beast Monster Lodge's pills were indeed good, but compared to the Beast King Pavilion's pills, there was still a difference. After all, the Beast King Pavilion's pills could allow most of the demonic beasts to break through twice with one pill, but the Beast Monster Lodge could only allow the demonic beasts to break through once. Don't tell me you don't dare. Weren't you shouting happily just now? Yihao looked at Shui Ji with a sneer. Yeah, didn't you give out so many pills just now? Let them see the effects of the pills. Hey kid, didn't you take Shui Ji's pills just now? Why don't you give it a try? Many people didn't mind the commotion and joined Yihao in shouting. Miaoyan, who was standing beside the giant elephant, finally let out a sigh of relief. Her hanging heart was also relieved. The corner of her eyes were filled with admiration as she looked at Yihao, who was sitting on the giant elephant. In the beginning, Shui Ji deliberately said that there was a problem with the Beast King Pavilion's pills, which made her anxious. She kept wanting to defend herself, but she didn't know how to do so. On the other hand, Yihao was calm and unhurried. It was as if he had been watching Shui Ji's performance the whole time before giving him a fatal blow. Now that she thought about it, Shui Ji was like a monkey that was being toyed with by Yihao. After Shui Ji's commotion, it proved the strength of the Beast King Pavilion's pills, and everyone was convinced. They thought that would end like this, but who knew that Yihao didn't want to let the Beast Monster Lodge go? He directly questioned the Beast Monster Lodge's pills in front of everyone. This made the Beast Monster Lodge instantly didn't know what to do. They originally wanted to undermine Yihao, but now that Yihao had turned the tables on them, they had no choice but to accept it. Miaoyan began to admire Yihao from the bottom of her heart. All of this seemed to have been planned by Yihao, and this Shui Ji seemed to have been found by Yihao to perform. Miaoyan looked at Yihao with eyes full of admiration. This is the man that I, Miaoyan, should be looking for. All right, I'm willing to try the Beast Monster Lodge's pills. The skinny young man at the beginning couldn't withstand the pressure from the crowd and released his magical beast. The skinny young man fed the pills that Shui Ji gave him to his magical beast, and then there was no more. What's going on, Master Shui? The skinny young man waited for a long time and asked Shui Ji in confusion. Don't be anxious. The effects of the pill might not be here yet. Ji saw that his magical beast didn't break through, and he was a little flustered. He looked at the Beast Monster Lodge's master with a guilty conscience. What the hell is going on? The old man asked coldly with an ugly expression. Now that the Beast King Pavilion had proven the strength of their pills, if his Beast Monster Lodge's pills couldn't even let his magical beast break through a level at this juncture, then his Beast Monster Lodge would really be finished. However, the old man clearly knew that even if the Beast Monster Lodge's pills couldn't be compared to the Beast King Pavilion's pills, they weren't far off. They couldn't break through twice, but breaking through once wouldn't be a problem. But it definitely wouldn't be like this, where the magical beast didn't have any reaction after eating it. Chapter 211. Father-in-law, I really don't know. These are the pills you gave me. Ji said bitterly. He thought it was a problem with the Beast Demon Lodge's pills. Hurry up and take a look at your pills. Don't be fooled by some people who are pretending to be a thief. Just as the crowd was puzzled, a voice came from the crowd. The people who took Ji's pills quickly released their magic beasts and fed them Ji's pills. However, it was like a stone ox entering the sea. There was no movement at all. Ji, you liar. You used these fake pills to trick us. That's right. It's obvious that your pills aren't good enough. How dare you accuse the Beast King Pavilion? I think we shouldn't go to the Beast Demon Lodge to buy pills. They're so expensive. You'll end up buying a bunch of fakes. Ji, what the hell are you doing? The Beast Demon Lodge master was burning with anger. Even if the first pill was an accident, it was impossible for so many pills to be accidents. He knew his Beast Demon Lodge's pills very well. The Beast Demon Lodge master frowned and ordered Ji coldly, "Let me see the rest of the pills." Ji also knew that something was wrong. He quickly handed the rest of the pills to the Beast Demon Lodge master. The Beast Demon Lodge master poured out a few pills and looked at them carefully. He was puzzled. There's no problem. These are indeed my Beast Demon Lodge's pills. How can this be? Father-in-law, how is it? Ji wiped the cold sweat off his head and asked carefully, afraid that he had taken the wrong pills. There's no problem with these pills. Are you sure you gave them these pills? The Beast Demon Lodge master asked in a deep voice. Absolutely. How would I dare lie to father-in-law? Ji quickly said. All right, everyone. How's the effect of the Beast Demon Lodge's pills compared to my Beast King Pavilion's pills? I believe everyone has an idea. My Beast King Pavilion's pills are still on discount, but the quantity is limited. Everyone is welcome to buy. Yihao looked at Ji and Ji's puzzled faces. The two of them were whispering to each other. He knew that something must have gone wrong. Otherwise, no matter how lousy the Beast Demon Lodge's pills were, it would have been impossible for them to be completely ineffective. Otherwise, the Beast Demon Lodge would not have been able to operate for so long unless they had a death wish. Young Master Xia is really a good person, unlike some people who sell fake pills and even increase the price by so many times. I want to buy more pills. Me too. As soon as Yihao finished speaking, everyone started to crowd around him. Some of them were even about to start a fight. Everyone, let's do it this way. We'll refine pills on the spot and sell them on the spot. Please line up in front of the pill furnace of the corresponding grade. Of course, there are also ready-made pills. Please line up in the shop to buy them. As soon as Yihao finished speaking, everyone instantly ran to the front of the pill furnaces and started lining up. Some stood at the entrance of the shop and wanted to buy ready-made pills, so they directly formed a long line at the entrance. Beast Monster Lodge, you liars. Give me back my pills and my discount. Seeing everyone consciously line up, those with Ji's pills stood in their spots, unsure of what to do. As for the person with the Tier 3 pills, he immediately shouted angrily. His shout immediately stirred up the emotions of those who took Ji's pills. All of them began to curse loudly. Father-in-law, what do we do? The more they heard, the harsher the curses became. If not for the Beast Demon Lodge's status, some of them would have directly attacked. This is your fault. Settle it yourself. The Beast Demon Lodge Lord did not know what the problem was. With a flick of his sleeves, he led a group of guards and left dejectedly. Shueji's expression turned bitter as he cursed inwardly. You old fart. I'm doing this for your sake. At this critical moment, you still want to ignore me. Shueji hurriedly wanted to chase after the old man. But how could those who took Shueji's pills agree? Brothers, this dog is trying to run. Beat him up, someone shouted. Dozens of people instantly rushed forward and began punching and kicking Shueji. Seeing Shueji being beaten up, Yihao felt vindicated in his heart. Seeing the store's entrance filled with people, he was thankful that he had the foresight to exchange for dozens of low-level warriors in advance. Otherwise, he would not have been able to cope. Boss, what do you think of my job? Just as Yihao put away the white dragon giant elephant and was about to return to the store, I Ching suddenly appeared beside him and spoke with a sinister smile. Yihao looked at I Ching strangely and smiled helplessly. I knew it. The pills of the Beast Demon Lodge can't be like that. So it was you who did it. I Ching chuckled and looked disdainfully at Shueji, who was being beaten up. Who asked that brat to be so arrogant and dare to find trouble with you, boss? This is just a small lesson for him. This must be sister-in-law. I Ching looked at Yi Miaoyan and greeted her with a smile. Hello, sister-in-law. My name is I Ching. I'm boss's underling. If there's anything, just let me know. I Ching's sister-in-law made Yi Miaoyan blush. She nodded embarrassedly. Yihao rolled his eyes at I Ching, stroked Yi Miaoyan's hair, and said gently, Don't worry about him. Go and do your own thing. Boss, what is your identity? Where did you find these alchemists? I Ching looked at the sea of people outside. There were more than 40 alchemists who were busy refining pills. Everyone's movements were so skillful. It wasn't that his family couldn't take out so many alchemists, but it was absolutely impossible for him to be as domineering as Yihao, who brought so many alchemists with him. One must know that alchemists were important resources in the family. They could make great contributions to the family. Generally, they would stay in the family. How could they run around casually? Since Yihao could bring out so many alchemists, it meant that Yihao's family didn't lack alchemists at all. I Ching guessed at the side. Yihao became more and more mysterious in his heart. Where did these alchemists come from? Do you want to know? Yihao looked at I Ching's curious face and asked in a mysterious tone. I Ching's face was full of surprise. He nodded quickly. In your dreams. Seeing I Ching's ear come closer, Yihao pinched it fiercely. He spat out these two words and turned to enter the alchemy room. Because he still needed to refine rank 4 pills. Because only by upgrading the white dragon giant elephant to rank 4, then in the competition tomorrow, he would have the confidence to win. This, I Ching quickly covered his ear and took a breath of cold air. Humph. No matter what your identity is, I will follow you, my boss. Chapter 2:12. Shueji walked back to the Beast Demon Lodge with great difficulty. Looking at the glorious Beast Demon Lodge, it was still packed with people. From the looks of it, the Beast King Pavilion's voice had not affected the Beast Demon Lodge's voice. When Shueji recalled how the Beast Demon House Master had abandoned him, he was filled with anger. However, he had no choice but to lower his head since he needed the Beast Demon Lodge's help. Shueji sighed and forced a smile as he limped towards the Beast Demon Lodge. Young master, you are back. The Lodge Lord wants you to look for him upstairs. A guard saw Shueji's embarrassing state from afar and held back his laughter as he ran over to help him up. Get lost. Shueji shot a glance at the guard. He had been fawning over him all the time, but at the critical moment, he ran off with the Beast Demon Lodge Lord. Now he was mocking him. Shueji's anger spewed out as he slapped the guard in the face. The guard dared not say a word and quickly lowered his head. Father-in-law, I'm back. Shueji hid all the dissatisfaction in his heart and stood behind the house master of the Beast Demon House with a respectful smile. Are you blaming me for abandoning you? Are you cursing me in your heart? The Beast Demon Lodge Lord did not turn back as he instantly voiced Shueji's thoughts. Shueji's expression was extremely awkward as he laughed dryly. Father-in-law, why would I blame you? Whatever you do is right. Ha! The Beast Demon Lodge Lord laughed and turned around to pat Shueji on the shoulder. I knew I wasn't wrong about you. Today's matter is not your fault, nor is it my fault. It's all that dog Xiaohao's fault. Do you know why I left you behind alone? The Beast Demon Lodge Lord naturally knew of Xueji's displeasure, so he had to enlighten Xueji so that Xueji would work harder for him. Little Su doesn't know. No matter how Xueji tried to hide it, the resentment in his voice was more or less audible. You have to know that our greatest asset is the Beast Demon Lodge. But what happened just now made the pills of our Beast Demon Lodge ineffective. Someone has to take responsibility. If that person is me, then the entire Beast Demon Lodge is finished. Therefore, only you can bear the responsibility. I wonder if those lowly guards can bear the responsibility? Little Su understands. Xueji felt that the Beast Demon Lodge Lord's words made sense. After all, the Beast Demon Lodge Lord had stepped forward to speak. No matter how he denied it, it would implicate the blame. If that happened, the Beast Demon Lodge's pills would not be able to sell. Therefore, the house master of the Beast Demon House did not say a word. He turned around and left, leaving him behind. This way, all the blame would be placed on his head. When the time came, the Beast Monster Lodge would be able to release the news that Xueji had mixed up the pills, but they would definitely not be able to justify themselves. Those people who took Xueji's pills were already enraged. No matter how they explained, absolutely no one would listen. Regardless, he had little Xue's, Lodge Lord's, Heese's. Now that something had happened, it was all his fault. No matter what the Beast Demon House Master said, Xueji still felt extremely wronged. When the Beast Demon House Lord saw Xueji lowering his head in thought, he knew that the grievances in Xueji's heart had been greatly reduced. A glint flashed in his eyes as he picked up 2 pill bottles from the table and handed them to Xueji. Xueji took the pill bottle in confusion. He opened it and looked at the pill inside. He asked in disbelief, "Father-in-law, that's right. One of the bottles contains Class 4 magical beast pills. There are over 20 pills in total, enough for your 2 magical beasts to reach the peak of Class 4. The house master of the Beast Demon House stroked his beard and kindly explained. Then what is this bottle? Xueji happily closed the pill bottle and put it into his bosom. He quickly opened the other pill bottle and saw that there were only 2 pills inside. His intuition told him that the pills inside were even more precious. This is the only time in a long time that I've succeeded with 2 5th-grade pills. Together with those 4th-grade pills, it's enough to raise your magical beast to 5th grade, the house master of the Beast Demon House said proudly. Father-in-law, you broke through to the 5th rank alchemist? Xueji asked in disbelief. The house master of the Beast Demon House shook his head with a bitter smile. It's not that easy. I haven't even touched the threshold of a 5th-grade alchemist. These pills were made by combining some powerful spiritual herbs and luck. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so few of them. Don't let me down. The house master of the Beast Demon House patted Xueji's shoulder and exhorted. Don't worry, father-in-law. With so many pills in hand, Xueji's resentment instantly dissipated. If he knew from the start that the house master of the Beast Demon House would give him such a huge benefit, he would be willing to gang up on his own people 8 to 10 times, let alone once. The house master of the Beast Demon House gave him so many pills, enough for him to have 2 5th-grade magical beasts. He was more confident about tomorrow's competition. What I want you to do is to crush Xiaohao's magical beasts and everyone's magical beasts tomorrow. Only then will we be able to prove the strength of our Beast Demon House's pills. The house master of the Beast Demon House took out his only 2 5th-grade pills because he had a plan in mind. He could only nurture Xueji's magical beasts into the strongest magical beasts, so that Xueji's magical beasts could crush everyone's magical beasts. Only then would he be able to prove the effectiveness of his Beast Demon House's pills. As long as Xueji's magical beasts could crush Yihao's magical beasts, it would directly prove that his Beast Demon House's pills were stronger than those of the Beast King Pavilion. Father-in-law, I will definitely take first place in the competition tomorrow. Xueji's heart was filled with confidence. Who's making a ruckus downstairs? Just as the housemaster of the Beast Demon House was about to say a few words of encouragement to Shueji, he suddenly heard a commotion downstairs. The guard wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and said, "Reporting to the housemaster, someone is saying that our Beast Demon House's pills are fake and want a refund." The housemaster of the Beast Demon House snorted in dissatisfaction and ordered the guard, "Humph. Do you think they can return the pills they bought as they please? Chase them out." "Yes." The guard received the order and hurriedly ran downstairs. The guard stood at the top of the stairs and shouted with his head held high, "In accordance with the housemaster's wishes, the pills sold will not be refunded. Chase these people out." "Everyone, did you see that? The Beast Demon House is selling fake pills and doesn't even allow a refund. I advise everyone to buy from the Beast King Pavilion." "That's right. The Beast King Pavilion's pills are powerful and even cheaper than the Beast Demon House's." Many people heard the commotion and put the money they had already taken out back into their pockets. "Hurry up and give us a refund. If you don't, we'll smash the store." Chapter 2:13. That's right. Why can't I return it? Are you guys hiding something? I'm the prince of the nymphomaniac country. Hurry up and return my money. Otherwise, I'll tear down your beast demon temple. Seeing so many pills, everyone who bought the pills, although they didn't know if the pills were real or fake, still clamored for a refund. Among these people, there were also people with backgrounds. They weren't afraid of the beast demon sect at all and directly threatened them. The guard couldn't help but feel anxious. He didn't expect his words to cause more people to riot. He couldn't help but shout in panic, "You guys stop them. I'll go find the temple master." The guard hurriedly ran to the master of the Beast Demon House and said while panting, "Master, if these people are only from the Beast King City, then everything will be easy to handle. I could take care of them. But there are some people from great powers that we can't afford to offend. Get them back." The temple master sat on the chair and said angrily, "Father-in-law, don't be angry. The Beast King Pavilion won't be happy for long." Seeing the temple master's gloomy face, Shueji tried to persuade him. "You can leave. If you don't get first place, I'll kill you." The temple master waved his hand and warned Shueji. "Yes." Shueji panicked and quickly left. Seeing Shueji leave, the housemaster of the Beast Demon House closed his eyes and went into deep thought. His eyes were filled with resentment as he said, "What a great I won't regret it. No one has ever made me suffer such a huge loss. I will not let this matter rest so easily." Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for refining a level 4 pill. Experience points increased by 20. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for refining a level 4 pill. Experience points increased by 20. It's about time for the pills. After refining dozens of level 4 pills, Yihao could finally rest for a while. It was already dark outside, but it was still very dark outside. It seemed like the Beast King Pavilion was destined to have a sleepless night today. There wasn't enough space in his alchemy room to summon the giant elephant. Therefore, Yihao appeared in the dragon prison lake with a thought. "Little ball, make some space for me." Yihao looked at Whitebeard's weapon spirit and said with a smile. When the equipment spirit heard Yihao's words, it waved its sleeves and an empty space appeared in front of Yihao. Yihao immediately took out a purple-red jade tablet and released the white dragon giant elephant. When the white dragon giant elephant saw Yihao, it happily snorted. The two experts in the dragon prison lake raised their heads and looked over. Yihao signaled that everything was fine, and the two experts continued to lower their heads and cultivate. The giant dragon also woke up from its deep sleep. It lazily lifted its eyelids and glanced over. Then, it turned over and continued to sleep. "Come on, little white." Yihao took out a tier 3 medicinal pill and tossed it to the giant elephant. The giant elephant immediately shook its long trunk and sucked the medicinal pill into its mouth. After waiting for a long time, the white dragon giant elephant's aura only strengthened a little. However, there were no signs of a breakthrough. The white dragon giant elephant looked at Yihao eagerly. "It can't be. If it wasn't for the fact that his medicinal pills were personally refined and stored in the space, Yi Hao would have suspected that I Ching had swapped his medicinal pills. My lord, this giant elephant is a mutated magical beast. It even has a trace of dragon blood in its body. Naturally, it can't be compared to ordinary magical beasts. The more medicinal pills it can eat, the better. The equipment spirit looked at Yi Hao's puzzled face and explained with a smile. All right, I was worried that if I gave it too many medicinal pills at once, it would explode and die. Yi Hao said helplessly. Who asked him to meet another foodie? Other magical beasts could basically break through twice after eating one of his medicinal pills. This white dragon giant elephant was different. After eating one medicinal pill, its strength only increased a little. Yi Hao continued to toss medicinal pills to the giant elephant 2 more times. The giant elephant's aura suddenly shook and it finally broke through 1 rank. However, the giant elephant's body didn't change much. Only the scales on its 4 limbs increased a little. Eat you foodie. Yi Hao originally thought that 10 tier 3 medicinal pills would be enough for the white dragon giant elephant to reach the peak of tier 3. Now, it seems that he was thinking too much. However, the smile on Yi Hao's face exposed Yi Hao's inner thoughts. In his opinion, the more medicinal pills the white dragon giant elephant ate, the better it would be. It would be best if it could empty the Beast King Pavilion. If other magical beasts wanted to break through from a beginner tier 3 to the peak of tier 3, they would need at most a dozen medicinal pills to break through. However, the white dragon giant elephant ate more than 40 medicinal pills from Yi Hao. Luckily, he was able to refine medicinal pills. If it was someone else, they wouldn't be able to raise this monster. All right, don't eat these tier 3 medicinal pills. It's useless even if you eat them. Yi Hao put away the tier 3 medicinal pills in front of the white dragon giant elephant's eager eyes. Then, he took out the tier 4 medicinal pills that he just refined. The white dragon giant elephant stretched out its long trunk and sniffed. It immediately let out a cheerful cry. Eat until you die. Yi Hao jokingly scolded and gave all the medicinal pills to the white dragon giant elephant. He believed that the white dragon giant elephant had the strength to do so. Moreover, Yi Hao discovered that the white dragon giant elephant was a mutated magical beast after all. Its intelligence was higher than other magical beasts. Forget it. I'll refine 2 more batches of medicinal pills. Yi Hao looked at the medicinal pills in front of the white dragon giant elephant and hurriedly teleported out. Yi Hao returned to the dragon prison lake and saw that the medicinal pills in front of the white dragon giant elephant had already been eaten. The strength of the white dragon giant elephant had also risen to tier 4, rank 7. Its body was also 3 times bigger than before. When the white dragon giant elephant saw Yi Hao coming out, it immediately ran towards Yi Hao happily. Yi Hao immediately rushed over, causing the ground to shake. Yi Hao now felt that he wasn't a match for the white dragon giant elephant. One had to know that he was an existence that could instantly kill an 8th level martial king. Yet he wasn't a match for the white dragon giant elephant. Yi Hao's face lit up with joy. He threw the medicinal pills in his hand to the giant elephant. Eat, foodie. If you can't get first place for me tomorrow, I'll directly roast you. The white dragon giant elephant clearly understood Yi Hao's meaning. Its eyes couldn't help but reveal a pitiful expression. Stop acting cute. Yi Hao slapped the white dragon giant elephant's head. The giant elephant quickly swallowed the medicinal pills that Yi Hao gave it into its stomach. In the end, there were still some medicinal pills left. Of course, it wasn't that the white dragon giant elephant couldn't eat anymore, but because it had already risen to the peak of tier 4. Even if it ate more medicinal pills, it wouldn't have any effect. Yi Hao sized up the white dragon giant elephant and muttered, "This isn't enough. I can't refine tier 5 medicinal pills. What should I do?" What Yi Hao needed to do was to ensure that the white dragon giant elephant won first place in the competition tomorrow. It wasn't as simple as 500,000 experience points. There was also the matter of investigating Xie Chunyu's father. That was 10 million experience points. Yi Hao believed that with 10 million experience points, even if he didn't break through to the martial venerable realm, it would be close. Most importantly, there were 3 million resurrection points that could be exchanged for 3 martial venerable experts. That would be a great help to him. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.